vote on it.
Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti reports the deal said to cover about 28,000 workers. And with pool season upon us, a new study out of Britain finds where a person is likeliest to develop skin cancer depends on their gender.
An analysis by Cancer Research UK found 4 in 10 melanomas in men are found on the torso, including the back, chest, and stomach. But more than a third of women develop skin cancer on their lower limbs, from the hips to the feet.
Vicky Barker reports the reason appears to be because men are more likely to be out shirtless, while women tend to wear shorts or skirts in the warmer weather. But no matter your gender or race, you are advised to use sunscreen if you plan to be out in the sun for a longer period of time. It's 9:03. Mark Arum Show begins in less than 2 minutes. But first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. We start on the roads. Triple team traffic. Here's Smiling Mark McKay.
Slow roll into downtown Atlanta, getting worse now. Travel advisory crash knocks out 3 center lanes. 75-85 northbound before University Avenue, exit 244. That's why you're stopped leaving Langford Parkway, trying to work your way up toward I-20. Leave that crash scene. You still have delays up to John Lewis Freedom Parkway. Heading in from the northern suburbs to Midtown Atlanta. I think the worst is going to be out of Brookhaven and northeast Atlanta along the 85-400 corridor. 400 is slow at Sidney Marcus. 85 on the brakes below Claremont Road. Your delays on I-85 will continue towards 17th Street, Atlantic Station. What's left over on 285, Ashley Frasca?
A little bit of slow traffic on the Inner Loop 285 south, headed past Lawrenceville Highway. Earlier crash before Memorial Drive. That's been moved to the shoulder. Crowded 285 westbound through Doraville, trying to get toward North Peachtree and Shallowford Roads. And 285 east on and off the brakes, leaving I-75, the Cobb Cloverleaf slow almost to Riverside Drive. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy skies with heavy rain and thunderstorms later on this afternoon. Some of these storms may produce damaging wind gusts. Today's high is 78, lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with an isolated rain shower, high near 80. Thursday, an isolated storm, daytime high 81.
Storm tracker radar showing some passing storms on the north part of town, especially in Cobb County and up in North Fulton as well. It's currently 65 degrees in Duluth, 64 in Morrow, 65 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:05. More news at 9:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Chet Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
Deborah, please set the over-under on how many times I say today is Monday. More or less than 4 times do I refer to this?
For sure more.
More
Absolutely
than 4. It's
Yes.
Tuesday, friends. Welcome to the Mark Arum Show. We got a big one for you today. A lot to talk about. We're going to go to the nation's capital not once, but twice. Going to talk to White House correspondent Karen Travers in just a couple of minutes. On Friday's show, we had the announcement from President Trump of 50% tariffs on the European Union. That has since been backed off. Karen's going to give us the latest there. In 1 hour, we're going to go live to the nation's capital. CBS News' Natalie Brand. President Trump having just, he is done with Vladimir Putin. He came out really harsh words for the Russian president. So Natalie Brand's going to join us live. And I'm really excited about this. 9:50 a.m. Actor Kim Dickens is going to join us. I think, Deborah, she was in Walking Dead. That's how probably most people know her. To me, though, she's Joni Stubbs from Deadwood, my favorite television show of all time. I am geeking out right now just thinking about that Joni Stubbs. 5K Day bonus splits keywords comes up at 10:18, and we got rid of all the Metallica tickets last week. We gave them away. What do we have to give away this week, Deborah? Really good pack, though.
Yeah, we got tickets to see an amazing Canadian band, the Bare Naked Ladies.
Yes. Maybe tomorrow, Longoria, I'll give you a heads up. All Bare Naked Ladies in celebration of... Well, the music, not in studio. Well, I mean, whatever you can do, whatever you can pull off.
For Bare Naked.
I hope everyone had a reflective and peaceful Memorial Day. As I told you on Friday's show, Maya and I went up to the nation's capital, D.C., and I haven't been to D.C. since I was in high school. I did one of those week-long trips. I forgot the name of the program. You did it? Did you do that too?
I did that too, yeah.
Yeah, up close. I don't know what it was called. But that was the last time I was in D.C. And I kind of had this negative connotation of D.C. Just, drain the swamp and what a crappy town. But man, I loved it. It was, first of all, to go on Memorial Day weekend, right, where there's so much going on and so much remembrance. And I was just reminded of, goodness gracious, you turn a corner and there's a monument. And if you need to ramp up your patriotism, forget about the swampiness of D.C. and the politicians. It's just a really cool city with really cool stuff all around, Deborah. I don't know if you've been back since high school or not.
I have not. What did you do when you were there?
Well, we went up to I think this is going to be a new Memorial Day tradition with Maya and myself. So one of our best friends just moved up there, so we went up to stay with them. But we did the touristy stuff. I texted Jamie Dupree a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, hey, I'm heading to D.C. Give me some touristy stuff to do. And he said Washington Monument, like without hesitation. Yeah. So we went to the Washington Monument, and it's even bigger as an adult than I remember it being in high school. Like it's a massive obelisk. And I don't recall there being that much green space. It was really, really something. We went to the World War II Memorial, which I don't remember going to in high school. I don't know if we missed it or I just didn't remember it. Vietnam Memorial, Korean Memorial, Lincoln. I mean, it was just walking down Pennsylvania Avenue and seeing all of the, the Treasury building and the cat. Man, I'm not saying I'm moving there, but if Ken was like, hey, we're transferring the show to D.C., I'd be like, all right. I'm serious. It was a really cool experience.
Really?
Yeah.
Good.
So I know a lot of listeners are jaded, right? You're anti-D.C., like, the Beltway, baloney. But yeah, okay. But just as a tourist, man, it was, I just, and the weather was perfect too. That probably helps that we didn't go in the middle of July when it was, really sweaty. And it was just great food. Got a restaurant recommendation from Senator John Ossoff. I had an amazing time, and I don't know why I was so skeptical about going back to D.C. because I enjoyed it in high school, but I guess over the last 30 years, I just had this, it just seeps in your brain like, oh, D.C. bad, and I'm sure there are bad parts of it, but man, I had a great time, an absolutely great time, and I did not go, Deborah. I didn't go to Arlington National Cemetery. Because I figured a lot of people were there to pay their respects, right? And President Trump was actually there yesterday. So I didn't go, and it's not, the Arlington National Cemetery is not in D.C., by the way. It's in Arlington, Virginia.
Arlington?
Yeah. But it's just, I don't know, man. It was a really cool experience. So if you've been doubting, you're like, I don't want to go to D.C., go do it. It was phenomenal. It was really a lot of cool little neighborhoods, so many like parks and statues. It was 2 thumbs up. If I was a Yelp reviewer, I'd give the nation's capital 5 stars. It was phenomenal.
Would you believe I've been to DC like 6 times in the past 3 years? I'm with you.
It's
I
great,
love
right,
DC.
Vinny?
Yeah.
Why didn't you go to Howard, by the way?
I didn't attend Howard. I had friends there. I went there for homecoming though.
Why didn't you go to school there?
I didn't want to be around there.
You didn't get in.
It's a lot. No.
Vinny didn't get in, Deborah. That's the thing. But right, DC it was so cool. It was everything about it. There was no negative, not a single negative thing I had in DC.
I'm with you.
Oh no, one negative. I had the worst Uber driver. It was an older gentleman, and I didn't order the Uber. Our friends did, and we were trying to. Oh, we went down. We had seafood down at the wharf. It was amazing. So anyway, we took an Uber from their house to the wharf, and normally it's like a 15-minute drive. But with this old dude driving, it was like 45 minutes, riding the brake the whole time. And I was like, this is the most. That was the only bad part. We had one bad Uber ride.
That doesn't have to do with DC.
No, I know.
I think that's just him.
It was great. So I'm a full-fledged fan of the nation's capital. I loved it. So Vinny, you and I will go up.
Yeah, we'll move there. Yeah.
Delta. I'll tell you what. The Delta Sky Lounge, Sky Club, whatever they call it, the one in D.C. has better food than the one in Atlanta. So
Really?
yeah, ATL, you better step up. It was really.
They must have had seafood.
No, they had like some braised short ribs and these turkey sandwiches. I mean, it was. Anyway, I'm on a high. It was a great trip. Speaking of the nation's capital, I'm sorry I didn't get to see White House correspondent Karen Travers, who joins us here on the show. Karen, good morning. Friday on the show, we had the breaking news. President Trump was fed up with the European Union, said, hey, coming up in a month, or no, not even a month, in like 10 days, we're going to see a 50% tariff on all goods imported from the European Union. That's where we left the story on Friday. What can you tell us this morning?
Yeah, the president made this threat saying that he would put a 50% tariff on products coming into the U.S. from the European Union, and left it out there for about 48 hours before he backed away from that threat. And we've seen this playbook before over the last couple of weeks and months, where there is a threat of something very significant, only to see the president say, well, we'll actually pause it for right now, but it'll go into effect in a couple of weeks unless we can reach some sort of deal. So now the pressure is on the trade negotiators to reach some sort of agreement with the EU, but he also didn't even make it clear what he wants to see happen. He was asked Friday if there's anything the EU could do to avoid the tariffs, and he said, I don't know. We're going to see what happens. The president had a phone call on Sunday with the commissioner, the head of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen. She called it a good call. She said that Europe is ready to advance talks swiftly and decisively. He had said, too, that they would rapidly get together and see if they could work something out. There was that phone call yesterday with the Commerce Secretary and the European Trade Commissioner. The U.S. Trade Rep also was on the phone with his counterpart in Europe. So we'll see how quickly they can move along with things. But, there's still some pretty big sticking points that have been on the table for weeks, that will be on the table for the coming weeks between now and July 9th. But the European Union also made it clear yesterday that they are still moving forward with their potential list of retaliatory tariffs should the 50% go into effect on July 9th if no agreement can be reached.
White House correspondent Karen Travers joining us on the Mark Arum Show. Do we know what prompted President Trump on Friday to bump up the tariffs to 50%?
It certainly feels like it's a move to try and light a fire under the negotiations. Like that the administration hasn't been happy with how things have been going. That they've been moving along pretty slowly with the EU. In recent weeks, when you ask about where progress is on trade deals, because, of course, we're in this 90-day pause period right now, and about halfway through it from the pause the president put into effect in early April on those stiff, sweeping tariffs on countries all around the world. When you talk to officials, they will always cite Asian countries as where they feel the most progress has been made. They were like, we're talking to India, we're talking to South Korea and Japan, Vietnam. We think that we're moving quickly with those countries. You didn't hear anything about the EU. So this potentially, for the president is a way to try and jumpstart negotiations, make a big, big threat like this and see where it goes. And maybe it works because, of course, it got them on the phone. He's got conversations rolling. But again, that threat of 50% tariffs is still, for the president's point of view at least, still on the table for July 9th.
Yeah, we've seen this, the Trump administration use this exact same playbook a couple of times in these trade negotiations. Final question, Karen. What's on the agenda today at the White House? What should we be watching for?
He doesn't have any events on his schedule today, which is kind of notable. The official schedule says no public events. We'll see if the president adds something. We are, of course, at the ready just in case, but notable that there wasn't even something that was behind closed doors that opened up to reporters, but there was nothing actually on the official schedule. So we'll see.
A nice 4-day weekend. Well, we'll take that. You'll take that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Karen, as
there
always.
will always be something happening, I'm sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Karen, as always, thanks for your time, buddy.
Great. Have a nice day. Thanks.
One of the things that I forgot to mention, Deborah, about the Washington trip was like every block you drive down, there's an embassy building, right? The South Korean embassy.
Oh, sure.
And the architecture, like these old school. I mean, I'm like giddy over the nation's capital. And we drove past the French embassy, which leads us to this next story. Did you see the video of the French president getting off the plane? Did you hear about this?
Hit in the face?
Yeah, so the leader of France is downplaying an incident gone viral. His wife appearing to push or slap his face as they're getting off a plane during a Southeast Asia trip. CBS's Matt Piper has the update.
Video from Sunday evening shows French President Emmanuel Macron's plane door opening, revealing him. His wife Brigitte's arms then emerge from the left of the open doorway. She places both hands on her husband's face and gives it a shove. He later puts his arm out to take hers, but she never gives it. Macron's office initially denied the authenticity of the images before they were confirmed as real. He's now calling it all overblown, saying the pair were horsing around. Matt Piper, CBS News.
I saw the video. It looks bad. Like, it looks bad. Like, the French president, like, they opened the door of the French version of Air Force One and, blocked by the door was his wife, apparently wearing a red dress, and she just like shoves him. And then he's like, hey, honey, everyone can see me, like the camera, and he starts waving. And I don't know what's behind it, but it could be playful. Like Maya always threatens to push me. She's like, I'm going to push you down. You know, like, I don't know. Okay, but I was like, oh my God. Like the worst timing for him is they open the door to the French Air Force One, and you see his wife just give him a shove. I didn't think it was a slap; it was a shove. But you never know; it goes behind closed doors. Maybe they're not there, you know. Maybe they were playing around. Anyway, it was a pretty bad look, though. All right, 1 hour from now, 1 hour from right now, 10:18. I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K a day bonus blitz. Another chance for you to win $1,000 right here on 95.5 WSB. When we come back, a really horrific situation involving a man driving a van into a crowd of people in Liverpool. We'll go to Liverpool for the latest on that still developing story. But first, let's check the Tuesday morning drive around town. Live to Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center. Here's Mike Shields.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Watching a crash that's been in 3 center lanes. Move to the right shoulder on the downtown connector, I-75-85 northbound, just before University Avenue. Exit 244 says slow before Langford Parkway, but those lanes are reopening as I speak. Also, crash off to the right into Cobb County, 285 southbound, the inner loop at Memorial Drive, exit 41, sluggish as you leave Highway 78. This report is brought to you by Macy's Backstage. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? How about essential warm weather styles, $30 and under, like dresses, shoes, bags, men's and kids looks. Find the latest trends, new arrivals, and great prices at Macy's Backstage near you. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
It pays to have the WSB radio app. Download it today and get ready for the Blitz.
Oh my God.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. 5 chances a day to win $5,000.
It's the Blitz.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 10 a.m.
Oh, that's cool.
From 95.5 WSB.
Download the WSB radio app now.
Look, your house called. It wants a bath. Not just any bath either, a full-on pollen-blasting, grime-busting spa day from Wise Guys Pro Wash. Mention me, Chris Chandler, for $70 off your next service. Just visit wiseguysprowash.com.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group, to discuss one of the biggest blind spots that people face when saving for retirement, and it's a head-scratcher. Chris, how do so many people not know what they're invested in?
That's the biggest flaw that everybody runs into. They think they know what equities they have, they think they know what bonds they have, but they really don't know how those mutual funds or how those index funds are performing in conjunction with one another. So, I would liken this to a big pot of soup, and we're just throwing all the ingredients in the refrigerator in this thing. It's not very good. It's just a mishmash of stuff. And sometimes you like the way it tastes. Sometimes you don't. And when you don't know why. You don't know if you got too much chicken in there or too much vegetables in there or what's going on. And I ask every caller that comes in for an initial consultation, do you know how your portfolio is broken down? And they say, well, I've got, 20 or so options in my 401k, and I just picked 2 of them or 3 of them. I thought I needed some international. I thought I needed some U.S. equities. I thought I needed some bonds. And they're just guessing. So you have to absolutely know what you're invested in, and that's where we will run the 401k portfolio x-ray for you, because that'll break it down. If you're not proficient at investing and don't understand this world, we will walk you through it. Not knowing what you're invested in is a big hindrance to growing and protecting your money. We will run a portfolio x-ray for you and educate you on exactly what's in your portfolio.
Set up a time to get your complimentary portfolio x-ray today. Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858, or book online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163. 546.
Hey folks, Dr. Joe Esposito here. If you've been in an auto accident, don't wait. The pain might not show up right away, but the damage can last a lifetime if it's left untreated. Now, our team of doctors at PainFreeAtlanta.com specialize in post-accident chiropractic that gets to the root of the cause, and that helps you heal naturally without relying on painkillers and risky surgery and other procedures. And if your condition requires further medical attention, we work with a trusted network of qualified medical doctors and specialists to ensure that you get the full care that you deserve. Let us guide you through every step of the process. safely, professionally, and with compassion. We can also find honest, qualified legal representation if necessary. Don't fall for scam artists whose only concern is their wallets and not your health. We also document your injuries so that you get the settlement you deserve. Call us at 404-333-7777 to schedule a free consultation or visit painfreeatlanta.com. That's 404-333-47s or visit painfreeatlanta.com.
Hey everyone, it's your buddy Shelly Winter here. Join me this Saturday at noon for The Car Guys with Kevin Deutsch from Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. Buy or lease, fix or sell, everything you want to know about cars, we will cover Saturday, noon to 1, right here on 95.5 WSB.
Preparing to sell your home can be costly and time-consuming. Skip the hassles of a traditional home sale and sell your home stress-free with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Say goodbye to the stress that comes with showings, open houses, and costly home repairs. My friends at Mark Spain Real Estate will sell your home fast and for maximum value. If you're thinking about selling your home, you can receive an all-cash guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Listen to what their client Tyra had to say. Thanks to Mark Spain Real Estate, our home had several cash offers within 24 hours of it being on the market, and we closed in less than a month. With their guidance, the transaction was more seamless than we had ever hoped. Selling your home is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make, so who you work with matters. With over 12,500 five-star reviews, trust the top real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home for top dollar. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
I just can't fathom why anybody would do that to get people hurt, especially the amount of children that were there. It's just really scary.
That was one of the witnesses to the horrific event in Liverpool. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. I'm going to get the latest from Nick Robertson in Liverpool in a second. But, Deborah, I want you to hear this audio, and I got a question after I play it, okay?
Okay.
It must have been going about 30 miles an hour, and as it went past, we could see all the windows.
All right, so that's obviously a woman in England, and she said the car was going 30 miles an hour. Do they do miles per hour in England? I thought it was kilometers.
You'll see both. Yeah, you really will see both. I mean, I think kilometers more normal, but you'll see both depending on where you're at.
All right. I mean, it has nothing to do with the story, but I was like, do they do miles per hour? I thought everything was metric system over there. Kilometers. Anyway, Nick Robertson, CNN in Liverpool this morning.
Yeah, a 53-year-old white British male from the Liverpool area. That's what the police say. They were quick because less than a year ago, not far from here, there was a stabbing incident where 3 young girls were killed at a dance class. Social media, particularly right-wing groups, circulated the notion that there was some kind of racist motivation behind it. And I think the police very quick here to put everyone's mind at rest, not terrorism. It's not clear what it is. I'll just step out of the way here. Luis can sort of zoom in and look at that big police truck. Immediately behind the police truck is an inflatable tent. Inside that tent is the people carrier vehicle that British male driver was driving as he slammed into the crowd, swerving out of the crowd, back into the crowd again. As you say, 4 of the injured are children. 2 people seriously injured in hospital. One of those seriously injured, a child. 27 people total taken to hospital for treatment, 20 treated at the roadside. So a massive, almost 50 casualties here. And firefighters, when they arrived, said that the first thing they did was to have to lift a vehicle up and pull 4 people out from underneath that
Just
vehicle.
an awful thing. All right, so again, it's a 53-year-old guy. And apparently, Deborah, they were Liverpool. They are all celebrating the win for the Liverpool soccer team's Premier League title.
Yeah,
right?
the Premier League. Yeah, Liverpool FC.
So it'd be like if the Braves won the World Series.
Yeah,
and
just like we had here.
And we're all celebrating at the Battery, and then someone drives a van. Miraculously, no one is dead. 2 critical injuries, and a bunch of children. But the British police are saying not terrorism. They don't know exactly what happened. We've seen cases like this where you have a driver that has like a medical condition or stroke or something. But just, remarkably, no one was killed. As soon as we get more information on that, we will pass it along to you. All right, coming up after news, weather, and traffic, we're going to update our top local stories. 9:50, I'm so excited. Joni Stubbs, a.k.a. Kim Dickens, joining us live. She's got a new show out called Better Sisters on Amazon Prime, but we're going to talk Deadwood because I just love Deadwood and I love Joni Stubbs. Social media is active at Mark Airman at WSB Radio.
Trust is not just a word, it's an experience. When your home needs service, you can trust TE certified electrical, plumbing, heating, and cooling. Hey, it's Chris Chandler. TE is the company I trust to fix any problem once and for all. Their 5-star customer experience means easy online scheduling, friendly technicians, and a lifetime workmanship warranty, so I can just sit back and relax.
TE certified, we love your home.
Mom and Dad seem different after a European-style holiday on MSC Cruises.
Call us Cloud and Yvette.
The ship had restaurants, shops, and nightlife.
Ah, La Galleria.
And of course, American touches like an aqua park and a sweets shop.
American je ne sais quoi.
Mom, you're from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Kevin.
Book now and save up to 40% off, plus kids sail free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Hey, it's Shelley Winter here. Have you been recently diagnosed with sleep apnea and then they prescribed a CPAP machine? Come on. You know it's not comfortable. Rolling around in a bed with something on your face, having to hold your breath for 30 to 40 seconds, can't roll over and kiss your loved one in the middle of the night. Yeah, I know. It's bad news. But there is an alternative. Oral appliance therapy, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to let you in on this better option, PalmettoSleep.com. It's a better option. They offer a custom-fit oral appliance that stops your snoring and treats sleep apnea, and it's covered by your private medical insurance. PalmettoSleep.com has made the process super simple with virtual appointments and take-home sleep tests if needed. They handle everything. If you've already been diagnosed, now's the time for a treatment that is right for you. Visit PalmettoSleep.com. That's PalmettoSleep.com. Go there now. That's PalmettoSleep.com and get rid of that CPAP machine.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 9:30. I'm Jed Hickenbotham. Our top story this half hour. Watching delays starting to pile up at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport again this morning. Follows a rough Memorial Day. More than 400 flights were delayed here in Atlanta. So far this morning, now more than 70 flights have been delayed. That number continues to go up, partly because of some rough weather rolling through the southeast today. And we could see our own bad weather today, according to WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards, who says we'll see rain most of the day. It could be rough drive home for many of us.
Watching for a round of heavy rain and thunderstorms later on this afternoon into the evening hours. That's likely after 3 p.m. Some of these storms may produce some damaging wind gusts.
And it's not just today. She says the rain will be around for the rest of the week. We don't dry out until the weekend. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. It's a rough start to the day for some Buckhead residents as well. Workers with Atlanta Watershed investigating a water outage near Nancy Creek Road and Northside Parkway. They say they're checking all the valves in the area, but have yet to find any breaks or leaks. Residents in the area are urged to use bottled water until they can solve the issue. Bottles are being distributed at the Westminster School's tennis court area along West Paces Ferry Road. Now the ground's broken on Atlanta's first ever commissioned Vietnam Veterans Memorial. One vet puts out a call to families of other soldiers.
10 hours after I had arrived in Vietnam, it was the beginning of the 1968 Tet Offensive.
Surviving not only the war in Vietnam, but a battle with PTSD has given Sergeant Morocco Coleman another mission, supporting fellow veterans.
It gives me more opportunity to help them to get their benefits and widows to get their benefits and the things that we're entitled to, because many of us don't know what we're entitled to.
Coleman sees this Atlanta Vietnam Memorial as a touch point toward finding those vets or families, giving them aid in more ways than one.
I think that this will be a healing place for many people.
Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Told you at the airport a minute ago, today's the last day flyers can enjoy the 2 bags fly free perk from Southwest Airlines. Starting tomorrow, Southwest will charge customers $35 for one check bag, $45 for a second, unless they have the airline's credit card or have elite status with Southwest. Low-cost carrier says the move is meant to drive revenue growth. Some insiders claim it's a big management mistake for Southwest, which is also set to end open seating in the first half of next year. After a great season for the Bulldogs, the road to the College World Series now runs through Athens.
The Diamond Dogs earn a number 7 national seed after posting a record of 42-15. Georgia will host Binghamton in Game 1 of the Athens Regional Friday at noon at Foley Field. Duke and Oklahoma State make up the other half of the Athens Regional. The winner of the double elimination tournament advances to the Super Regional, which the Dogs would host if they advance. The 8 winners of the Super Regionals advance to the College World Series in Omaha. Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Georgia Tech, a number 2 seed in the Oxford Regional, and that gets started this weekend over in Ole Miss. It is 9:33 as we check your money. A big start on Wall Street after President Trump announces a pause on those 50% tariffs from the European Union. The Dow was up more than 400 points. S&P and NASDAQ also up in a big way, both up more than 1% so far to start this Tuesday. Now live team coverage of traffic and weather. Start of the WSB 24-hour traffic center and Mike Shields.
And watching a crash blocking the right lane still on the downtown connector, I-75-85 northbound just before University Avenue, exit 244. And that's enough to keep you on and off the brakes as you leave Langford Parkway, making your way through downtown. Also got trouble off to the right, 285 southbound, the Interloop Memorial Drive, long-standing crash there with flashing lights. And a crash inside the perimeter now, Highway 78 westbound just before North Druid Hills Road, that as well has been moved to the right shoulder. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Cloudy skies with heavy rain and thunderstorms later this afternoon into the evening hours. Some of these storms may produce locally heavy rain as well as damaging wind gusts. Today's high is 78, lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with an isolated rain shower, high near 80.
Storm Tracker radar shows some passing showers through the area, especially on the north metro side of town. It's currently 59 degrees in Suwanee, 59 in Fairburn, 65 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Jed Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
When traffic
No
hits,
traffic getting through in either direction.
the Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
Even the bridge over 75 is being held.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
Out of Spaghetti Junction along 285 westbound and a crash on Peachtree Boulevard, 141 southbound before 285.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what
President
the hell
Trump
happened to
not mincing words about Vladimir Putin. We're going to update that story. But coming up next, the ongoing battle between the Trump administration and Harvard. 2 minutes away on the Mark Arum Show.
Get the dirt out before school's out and call Zero Res. Right now, get 3 rooms of carpet clean for just $129. Mention me, Chris Chandler, to secure this deal today. Book online at ZeroResAtlanta.com. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean.
Let me tell you, folks, Breda has got the bugs beat at the Arum house. Hey, it's Mark Arum, and my local friends at Breda Pest Management know my house inside and out. They've customized a unique treatment plan that stops any bugs and critters. And let's face it, we live in Georgia. We have bugs. We have a lot of bugs. We have critters. We have a lot of critters. We don't want the bugs and critters inside our home. That's where Breda comes in. With Breda, always a familiar, local person servicing my home and answering my calls, never an irritating automated call center. And the folks that come to my house, they're friendly, they're nice, they do an amazing job, and they care. Breda cares more and will work harder for you. They're our neighbors, and they've invested in our community, and doing it better is what the Breda family does. Breda, they handle bugs and critters. Get started at BREDAPest.com.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
The following is sponsored by Bid My Listing. Selling your home? With Ready, R-E-D-Y, the best real estate agents will pay you up front for your listing. 2, 5, as much as $10,000 for the chance to sell your home. Now, why would they pay you to be your agent? Well, in today's market, your listing is really valuable. So as an agent, if they're smart, they'll go to Ready and offer you cash up front for your listing. And you do want a smart agent that'll get you the most for your listing, right? So when you're ready to sell, give us a call and give us the basic information about your property, and we'll notify those smart agents who signed up with Ready. And within 48 hours, they'll be competing to sell your home. You pick the best one and get paid thousands up front. Call 888-551-READY. 888-551-READY. That's 888-551-REDY. 888-551-READY. That's 888-551-REDY.
Well, that'll be the day when you say
That'll Be the Day. 68 years ago today, Brunswick Records released That'll Be the Day by Buddy Holly and his group, The Crickets. Was he good friends with Richie Valens? Or were they just casual acquaintances, Longoria? I know you're the Richie Valens historian.
I don't know. I don't know if they were really good friends.
Speaking of music, welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Deborah, riding back on our hometown airline Delta yesterday from the nation's capital, I finally got to see the Bob Dylan movie.
Oh, did you like it?
I did, but
yeah, it was good.
The flight ended. There's 15 minutes left of the movie, so I got to watch it at home.
I think it's on Prime.
First of all, I forgot how many amazing songs he has. But like the movie didn't really put him in a positive light. He was kind of a jerk.
No, but he signed off on it.
Yeah.
He was really involved with how the story would be told.
And I want to know more about his relationship with Joan Baez. Like, I thought it was a good movie, but
I did too. Yeah.
He doesn't die in the end, right? There's like 10 minutes left in the movie.
Well, I can't tell you.
But I finally got to do it. Thank you. The only time I see like newly-ish released movies is on Delta because I just don't go to the movie theaters anymore. But I enjoyed it, and I thought the actor that played him did a really good job.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
He was
anyway.
nominated for an Oscar for that role.
Yeah, but as soon as I saw it was available, like new movies, and I was like, oh, Deborah said to watch it, and I watched it. It was very good. Like a time capsule. Seeger.
Pete Seeger.
Pete Seeger. I've hung out with Pete Seeger.
Really?
Yes. So he. Yeah, I know. Like he wouldn't recognize me or anything, but he lived across the Hudson River from my college, and if there was like a folky band playing, like he would show up. And like I've hung out with him. It was pretty remarkable. And I thought Ed Norton did a good job as Pete Seeger. Anyway, I digress. Let's go back to the meat and potatoes of the Mark Arum Show. I mentioned that he's there, President Trump, obviously not happy with Vladimir Putin. We're going to go up to the White House in 30 minutes. Natalie Brand is going to check in. But the battle between the Trump administration and Harvard continues. CNN's Elena Treem just moments ago outside the White House.
We're now told from two senior Trump administration officials that the Trump administration is going to be sending a letter to all federal agencies today directing them to cancel all of the federal contracts that they have with Harvard or to redirect some of that funding to other vendors, other schools, trade schools, perhaps, as the president has brought up previously. Now, altogether, it looks like roughly $100 million in federal funding is going to be canceled from going to Harvard. As you mentioned, this is the latest assault we've really seen from the Trump administration in taking aim at Harvard for a number of different reasons. Some of the reasons they've listed about why they want to do this is they believe that Harvard is not doing enough to prevent anti-Semitism on their campus. They are not following the diversity and hiring practices laid out by the Trump administration in an executive order. Again, all reasons that they're saying they are moving against Harvard and wanting to withdraw all remaining federal contracts and federal funding that this government gives to that university. I want to read for you, though, a statement from one senior Trump administration, what they told me this letter is going to look like. They said, quote, the General Services Administration, GSA, will send a letter to federal agencies today asking them to identify any contracts with Harvard and whether they can be canceled or redirected elsewhere. That one of these senior Trump administration officials as well told me that the president earlier, when he said that he wanted to take away some of the $3 billion in grant money from Harvard and potentially give that money to trade schools, they said to keep an eye on that might be exactly what these different agencies are ultimately told to do. Now, just to give you a sense again of what we've seen this Trump administration do as it relates to Harvard, you laid out some of them, John, but one is that the president just on Sunday said that he wants the, quote, names and countries of the thousands of international students at Harvard University, essentially suggesting that they want to look at all of these different countries, but specifically those who may be more hostile to the United States, and argue that they should be paying for some of that funding to educate their students. We also saw last week the Trump administration banned Harvard University's ability to enroll international students, something we saw a judge immediately intervene in. And then we've also saw the president earlier this year argue that he should be revoking Harvard's tax-exempt status. So again, we've really seen the president kind of make Harvard a symbol for what he believes is, the quote unquote liberal woke university, really seeing Harvard kind of bear the brunt of this administration's assault on higher education.
Lena Treen at the White House just moments ago. Apparently, they're doing some construction there. They're repaving the White House. I don't know what's going on. But I actually, and if you've listened to the show for any time, President Trump talking about diverting the funding that goes to Harvard or other institutions of higher learning to trade schools. And I have been a proponent of we need more trade schools in the United States. And I grew up in a town that had a trade high school. So we had the regular high school, and then across the street was Oliver Wolcott Technical School. And kids from all over Connecticut could come to this trade school, and you could learn HVAC, plumbing, hairdressing, restaurant touring. Like it was, and the people that went to that, I've mentioned this one guy that I went to middle school with, grew up, we played baseball together. I went to the regular high school. He went to Oliver Wolcott, and he took masonry, Deborah. Like he was a stonemason. Dude is a multimillionaire now. He's like the premier stonemason in New England. Like all the Richie Riches will hire him to build stone walls around their property, which is, something because there's so many rocks in the soil in the way. Anyway, I am all for trade schools. I think they're I think we should see more trade high schools, but certainly more trade colleges as well. So I actually like that. I don't know, the ins and outs of what exactly. I know a lot of the money that goes to Harvard is for cancer research, and people are, kind of hesitant to give that up. Harvard announced that they're offering free online classes to anyone that teaches the Constitution, right? Like they're like, all right, we gotta, teach the Constitution, everybody. So there's a back and forth going on there. This speaking of higher education, I don't know if this is higher education or not, Deborah, but apparently some schools are now offering Adulting 101 courses for Gen Zers to teach them how to be adults. What can you tell us about that?
Gen Z is signing up for these Adulting 101 courses in college, and the generation themselves are claiming these are things they were never taught. They weren't taught how to change a tire or basic cooking skills that aren't microwaving. They don't know how to iron clothes or even do laundry, how to use a laundry machine. So this is one of the classes at the Toronto Metropolitan University in Canada. They did this Adulting 101 class, and it was immediately full. Like so many kids were signing up for it. And psychologists are saying, well, this is as a result of helicopter parenting, extended adolescence, and then children living at home into their adulthood for a lot longer than they used to. All of this kind of leads up to them not knowing how to do things because there's someone else doing it for them.
Well, speaking of someone not leaving home, Vinny.
I knew it was coming.
Do you know how to iron clothes?
I know how to iron.
Okay. What are some of the, do you know how to change a tire?
He was afraid to change his oil.
Do you know how to cook? Like if you had to cook for yourself for a week?
Yes.
Not heat up a frozen pizza, but actually cook something.
I could cook something.
All right. I think as Gen Xers, we know how to do all that stuff. The only thing I think we were lacking, at least me personally, was like how to adult taking care of your personal finances.
Oh yeah.
Checking accounts, and like there was no economic tutoring at all for our generation, which is why we're all screwed. But apparently that's one thing Gen Z knows how to do. They're going to be the richest generation, apparently. They know how to do that.
$100,000 to retire.
Yeah, Vinny only needs $100K.
That's all I need.
He only needs $100K. Interesting. I'm all for that. Let's do that. So that's Toronto. Can we start our own, Mark Arum Show Adulting 101 courses?
Yeah, Vinny, what else do you need to learn?
He doesn't want to admit it.
What?
We'll come up with a list of things.
With tires, first of all.
Yeah. We can definitely start with the tire.
All right, we'll teach you to change your tire.
Car troubles.
Car troubles. Change your oil, change your tire.
That's number one.
Windshield, do you know how to change the windshield wipers?
Not at all.
All right. We'll do that. All right, we'll do that. All right, when we come back after traffic, I'm so excited. Actor Kim Dickens is going to join us. She was in Better Off Dead? No, Walking Dead. Two different things. She's got a new show out called Better Sister on Prime, but for me, she's forever Joni Stubbs from Deadwood. She's going to join us live after a quick break. And don't forget, 10:18 this morning. Anyone out there listening, Gen Z to Boomer, who couldn't use an extra $1,000 coming up at 10:18? I'm going to give you another keyword chance for you to win $1,000 just for listening to WSB Radio. But first, let's check the ride around town. Live to Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center, Mike Shields.
And Mark, some better news through downtown. A crash involving several vehicles just moved to the right shoulder finally. 7585 northbound University Avenue, exit 244. A little sluggish as you leave Langford Parkway. Those delays will improve. This support is brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Learn more about their supportive common threads in nutrition education at anthem.com/stream. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Blue Cross Blue Shield Healthcare Plan of Georgia, Incorporated. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Chris Chandler. When you join us Wednesday starting at 5 a.m. for Atlanta's Morning News, breaking stories from overnight, our exclusive 5-day forecast. Which day does the rain finally go away? We'll begin our chats with Metro Superintendent, summing up the school year just ending. These are always a good listen. And what Clark wants teenagers to do, speaking of, over their summer break. Plus, remember, our 5K a day bonus blitz continues. You can win $1,000 on 95.5 WSB.
Can you remember the last time you turned on the shower and all you got was cold water? Hopefully you don't have a fresh memory of that. Hey, it's Mark Aram. I want you to check out my friends at Reliable Heating and Air. Great new deal on a new water heater. Check it out, guys. Only $29.99 a month and no payments for 3 whole months. No credit check and an unbeatable lifetime warranty. Or you want to go tankless? It's only $59.99 a month and you can enjoy endless hot water. Think about those long, hot showers in the cold, cold winter. Their new water heater installations come with their 100% satisfaction guarantee, same-day water heater installation guaranteed, or they pay you $300. And with their Comfort as a Service program, you get lifetime repair and maintenance, no additional charges ever, no money down, and just easy monthly payments. So new water heater, $29.99 a month, or tankless, $59.99 a month. Amazing deal. Amazing hot water, amazing service. Go online to reliableair.com.
Creation displays such a beautiful landscape. You deserve to see it all. Don't let your old, big, and bulky windows block your view.
It's Jonathan and Ted from North Georgia Replacement Windows. Brighten your home with more daylight and bigger views with Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows.
Our windows come with narrow frames giving you more light. Experience the Infinity from Marvin fiberglass difference at your home or in our new Alpharetta showroom.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah!
Rates are up, rates are down. Every day it's something different. If you're curious about what's going on and when the best time will be to buy or refinance your home, call the experts I trust at Myland. This is Scott Slade. There's a reason the guys and gals at Myland are able to close loans that other local banks just can't. The folks at Myland are local and somebody you can trust to make sure you get the best loan for your needs at the best rate. You don't have to take my word for it. Here are lines from some recent testimonials. Myland kept me up to date and informed with every step of the way. They make you feel like you're one of the most important clients they have. Myland specializes in home financing, and they've seen it all. So whether you want to access the equity in your home to pay for other debts, buy a new home, or anything else, Myland is the place to call. 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Or online, it's myland.com. Spelled it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS and Georgia Mortgage License C148769. Myland's located at 8995 Westside Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. Myland is an equal housing lender.
With Orchard, you can buy your new home before selling the old one and get paid twice. Cash up front now, more cash when it sells. Get started at Orchard.com. Get paid twice. Orchard.com.
Oh, I'm getting chills. You're listening to the theme song of the greatest television show of all time, Deadwood. Welcome back to the Mark Aram Show. I'm downright giddy. Joining us live on the Mark Aram Show, Joni Stubbs, a.k.a. Kim Dickens. Kim, good morning. Thanks so much for your time.
Hey, good morning, Mark. My pleasure.
I'm fully 100%, no doubt about it. Deadwood is the greatest television show ever produced. You have to agree, right? I know you've done a lot of amazing stuff, but...
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you on that. It was a pretty exceptional show. I think, not much compares to it. There's incredible television now, incredible streaming and films and everything, but that was a really unique and special piece. And honestly, all of us that were involved in it, we just kind of were there all day, every day, and with David on this ranch and creating. Sometimes in the moment, he created things sort of spontaneously and quickly, and but very metered and poetic, and we were locked into the lines, and it was just an incredible creative experience. And honestly, it changed so many of our lives.
Yeah. I mean, how
lives and careers.
Just the words are poetic, right? You listen to how Americans spoke at that time in our nation's history. But as an actor, I mean, Joni, you were a madam, and you were dressed to the nines every day in the muck. How difficult as an actor was it to wear those costumes every day?
Well, Janie Bryant was our brilliant costume designer, and some of those pieces were really from the 1800s, and some of them were built by Janie and created by Janie. And the purple velvet, in particular, my purple velvet outfit and the top hat. I remember being in the first fitting, and Janie was like, "I really think you need to wear a top hat, Kim." And I was like, "Absolutely." And then she put that chiffon train on it, and it became this iconic look. And I have my top hat still in my office. And, it was some days were really, really cold. We were out in Santa Clarita, California, so it's kind of deserty and ranchy. And if it was cold in the morning, the ground was freezing, and you were in these little delicate shoes. And then if it was hot, it was 115. So we were sweating in velvet or freezing in our little delicate shoes. And I don't know how people did it back then. I think they wore big animal pelts over them to really make it. It was kind of rough.
It's a show that I rewatch every year. I wish there was more of it, but I mean, it was the perfect television show, perfect casting, directing, writing. All right, enough about that. I'm so sorry, but I'm really fanboarding out here right now. Better Sister on Prime Video. This sounds like a pretty amazing show, and it premieres in 2 days. Is that right?
It premieres Thursday, May 29th, Prime Video, dropping all 8. And it is juicy. It's a really fantastic thriller whodunit. And, speaking of Deadwood, the showrunners are Olivia Milch and Regina Corrado. Olivia Milch is David Milch's third child, and he was the creator of Deadwood.
That's
so
amazing.
I know Olivia a long time, and Regina also wrote on Deadwood for 3 years that we did it. So it's like going back. It's like a familial experience for all of us. And there's a couple of other actors. They shopped in the Deadwood closet, pulled out a couple other actors besides just me in the Better Sister. But the Better Sister is led by Jessica Biel, and Elizabeth Banks plays her sister, and they deliver these really, really powerful performances, really gutsy portrayals. And it's a murder mystery. I'm the detective. I am, love my job. I have a little bit of a sense of humor, certainly not around the murder, but there's some levity in my character. She's a good surrogate for the audience, and she's a real she's, like I said, opinionated. She's got a lot of swagger, and she kind of hounds the sisters on a daily basis.
I can see you pulling that off. It premieres on Thursday on Prime Video. I got to ask a question. A lot of listeners know you from the Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead. Was that filmed here in Atlanta? Did you spend time down here?
We, The Walking Dead, the mothership, they filmed outside of Atlanta, but we filmed all over the place. Fear the Walking Dead, we started in Los Angeles, went up to Vancouver. We then went down to Mexico for 2 years. Then we popped over to Austin for about 4 seasons, and then we ended up in Savannah, Georgia.
All right, so at least you came down to the Peach State one. I got to find a project for you to come into Atlanta because I would be your best friend. I'm a big fan.
I'll tell you what I filmed in Atlanta, The Blind Side.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That was filmed in Atlanta. Joni Stubbs, a.k.a. Kim Dickens, remarkable actor. Make sure this Thursday you check it out. Better Sister on Prime Video. News, weather, and traffic 3 minutes away on WSB.
Your home deserves to shine inside and outside. That's why I trust Wise Guys Pro Wash to keep my home and deck and driveway looking their best. So just mention me, Chris Chandler, and get $70 off your next service. Don't wait. The appointment's booked quick. Go to wiseguysprowash.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, where we know gifting isn't just about the latest styles and best quality, it's also about the best prices to make your occasions memorable without breaking the bank. Diamond studs are the perfect gift. They start at just $275 and have 100% upgrade value for life. We have a great selection of diamond and sterling silver jewelry with necklaces as low as $110. So don't compromise on your big occasions. Stay in your budget with something they'll cherish. From D. Geller & Son in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now. 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Preparing to sell your home can be costly and time-consuming. Skip the hassles of a traditional home sale and sell your home stress-free with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
Get the dirt out before school's out and call Zero Res. Right now, get 3 rooms of carpet clean for just $129. Mention me, Chris Chandler, to secure this deal today. Book online at ZeroResAtlanta.com. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there, good morning. It is 10 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by TE Certified Electrical, Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We're going to start with this. It's happening now. South Fulton police searching this morning for the driver involved in a fatal hit and run involving a pedestrian.
Emergency personnel were called to Camp Creek Parkway near Old Fairburn Road. There, officials discovered an unresponsive woman in the roadway. She was later pronounced dead. The driver fled the scene, and police have few details about the vehicle or a description of the driver. Anyone with information is asked to contact South Fulton Police. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
And there was another hit and run, this one in Cobb County. Cobb police now looking for the driver of a dark sedan believed to be responsible for a hit and run, resulting in serious injuries. This happened in the eastbound lanes of I-285 near the merge with I-75.
A white GMC Safari was eastbound in the second lane from the left, while a dark-colored sedan, possibly a Kia, was in the adjacent third lane and changed lanes and possibly may have collided with the GMC.
Officer Aaron Wilson says the dark sedan continued eastbound. The driver of the GMC suffered serious injuries and was taken to Wellstar Keystone Hospital. The passenger in the GMC also suffering injuries. Anybody with information being asked to contact Cobb County Police. All right, your weather for today, cloudy, rainy, heavy rain this afternoon and some thunderstorms. Packing some very strong winds are possible, too, with afternoon highs around 78, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. And DeKalb County police have made an arrest in a deadly weekend shooting. This happened Sunday night at an apartment complex in Lithonia, according to DeKalb PIO, I should say, Blaine Clark.
DeKalb County Police responded to a shooting reported in the 5600 block of Hill and Dale Drive. On arrival, officers found one man with a gunshot wound. Investigators charged Sean Warfield with the murder.
And police are investigating the circumstances that led up to that shooting. An arrest has been made in a months-long armed robbery spree in DeKalb County. Terry Lewis Burston was wanted for a long list of robberies. He is facing federal charges, too, as one of the robberies was a postal worker. He's also accused of holding up a bank back in 1995. Crews are rushing to find the cause of a water outage impacting homes and businesses in the Buckhead area.
Unlike most outages where the water main breaks are obvious, the cause of this outage is harder to pinpoint. Atlanta's Watershed Management Department says it's actively searching and troubleshooting in multiple locations in the Nancy Creek area. Crews are currently digging along Northside Parkway near West Paces Ferry Road. Residents in the area say they've had no water or little water for 24 hours now. The city's providing bottled water for them today at the Westminster School tennis courts. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
Early voting underway today for a couple of seats on the State Public Service Commission.
The races for the PSC's Districts 2 and 3 seats come after a lawsuit over how Georgia's districts were drawn. Early voting runs through June 13th. The primary election will be held June 17th. Voters will essentially decide who makes decisions about their utility bills. Since 2023, the Commission has approved 6 rate increase requests by Georgia Power. The PSC still has to decide on the utility's latest proposal to freeze rates for 3 years beginning next year. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
President Trump putting a hold on 50% tariffs on European imports. They were set to take effect this week. The president now pushing them back until July to allow more time for negotiations. The market's liking the news. The Dow's up 417 at 42,020. So the Dow's up a full percent. NASDAQ's up more than 1.5%. And the S&P is up more than a full percent. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. We say good morning to Ashley Frasca. She has a look at your Tuesday morning roads.
Good morning. Off to a good start if you are just hitting the roads. A lot of the volume on the interstates has dissipated. You may see just a few brake lights along the East Freeway rolling along I-20 westbound getting past Wesley Chapel Road. Look out for a crash and a lot of flashing lights on Camp Creek Parkway at Fulton Industrial Boulevard and a crash on Sidney Marcus Boulevard just past the ramp to Georgia 400 northbound. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Cloudy skies with heavy rain and thunderstorms later on this afternoon. Some of these storms may produce damaging wind gusts. Today's high is 78, lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with an isolated rain shower, high near 80. Thursday, an isolated storm, daytime high 81.
It is 65 degrees right now in Carrollton, 61 in Johns Creek. Jefferson, you have 60 degrees. We'll have more news at 10:30, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Tuesday morning to you. Mark Aram here, you there. It's 10:04, 4 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Aram Show live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. Whole gang with us today. Deborah is the executive producer of the program. Longoria, the Stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Vinny Drip screens your calls. Coming up in 13 minutes. That's it. I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K Day Bonus Blitz. Another chance for you to win $1,000 right here on 95.5 WSB. In the meantime, in between time, let's head back to the nation's capital. Joining us live from CBS News, it's Natalie Brand. Natalie, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Good morning.
President Trump, none too happy over the weekend with Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Zelensky. What did he say? What are his criticisms of the two world leaders?
Yeah, this has been some of the sharpest language we've heard from President Trump directed towards Russian President Putin, saying he's gone absolutely crazy. And this follows a weekend of just brutal assaults on Ukraine. Over the last 48 hours, Ukraine says Russia launched its biggest drone attack since the start of the war. And, you know, this comes as President Trump, the Trump administration, has spent months trying to broker a peace deal, try to get ceasefire negotiations going. But really what we've seen from Russia is increasing attacks on Ukraine and on civilians. So while President Trump, we've seen him on social media say things like stop, you know, Vladimir referencing the Russian president. Now we've seen him call him crazy and go on to say, this is according to Trump, I've always said that he wants all of Ukraine, not just a piece of it, but if he does, it will lead to the downfall of Russia. Now, President Trump, when asked by reporters whether he's considering sanctions, he said, yes, absolutely. But that's something that, a group of some Republican lawmakers over on Capitol Hill says needs to come right away. So what we're waiting to see is what steps does the United States, the Trump administration, take, if any, to really try to exert more pressure on Russia. Ukraine's President Zelensky, for his part, is saying that, Putin is showing he's just playing games right now with these diplomatic efforts, and that sanctions and a halt to Russia's oil trade are really what's needed, according to Zelensky.
Natalie Brand in D.C. live on the Mark Arum Show. As part of President Trump's frustration with the situation is the fact that, he campaigned on this. Like, this war will be over in 24 hours if I'm elected. Obviously, that was Pollyannish, right? Knowing what's going on and what has been going on. Is that, do you think, the root of the frustration is like he thought this would be an easier deal to negotiate?
I think if you look at just the progression, the timeline, and what he said about Putin, he thought it would be easier to bring Russia to the negotiating table. And all along, even in that Oval Office clash that we saw back in February between President Trump and President Zelensky back then saying, hey, listen, I'm skeptical that Putin wants peace. If you look at the history of Ukraine-Russia relations here, Crimea being annexed, all of the Russian aggression. So he really raised that as a red flag early on. And the Trump administration has continued to try to push for these ceasefire talks. Now we're seeing, Russia indicating last week, according to President Trump, that it would begin ceasefire negotiations following that call that we saw last week between Trump and Putin. But, a week later, you still have these escalating attacks on Ukraine. And so now I think we're finally seeing, President Trump questioning Putin's intentions here. But again, the question is what happens next? And if you remember back to those talks, those direct talks between Ukraine and Russia in Turkey that happened earlier this month, that did not include the leaders at the highest levels. Zelensky nor Putin were not there, but it was seen as progress that the two sides were getting together at the delegation level. What the United States has been waiting to see is the proposals that are supposed to be coming out of that meeting, a document detailing what the two sides, what the two countries' visions of a ceasefire would look like. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said one indication, that Russia, that both sides are serious about this, is what that document looks like. We are still waiting, for details around that document. And Zelensky said, he's still waiting for that as well.
Natalie, at this point, what pressure, if any, can President Trump put on Vladimir Putin? Is there anything left in his holster to get Putin to the negotiation table?
Well, if you talk to, experts and also these Republican lawmakers, bipartisan lawmakers, I should say, over on Capitol Hill, they say, much tougher sanctions could exert more pressure on Putin. They don't want to just see language, verbal attacks against Putin. They want to see actual sanctions to try to, cause more economic harm towards Russia and also continue to arm Ukraine. And just yesterday, we heard Germany is lifting some of the restrictions that had been on place for Ukraine to strike into Russia, strike military targets. When you're talking about some of the long-range missiles that have been provided by European allies and the U.S. to Ukraine, the restrictions around using those weapons have now been eased, so Ukraine can strike further into Russia to help defend itself. So again, you're looking at continued military support and really sanctions, I think, is what we're all going to be watching moving forward.
Natalie Brand, CBS News in D.C. Natalie, thanks for your time as always.
Thank you.
Obviously, a big story worth monitoring there. I think the only ace up the president's sleeve right now is, hey, Vlad. You think he calls him Vlad?
Probably.
Yeah, Vlad. Listen. He goes, "What, Donnie? You don't negotiate in good faith. We're going to pump billions more into the Ukrainian military." That's the only ace in the hole that we have right now because we've sanctioned the bejesus out of Russia. There's not. What else are you going to sanction? Anyway, Natalie Brand in D.C. A couple of big stories we're going to update still to come. Apparently two more inmates have been captured. 3 more inmates have been captured at that prison break in New Orleans. 2 still on the loose. We'll update that. The tragic situation in Liverpool, where a 53-year-old man ran through a crowd of celebrating football fans after Liverpool won the Premier League title. Thankfully, no one died there, but we're going to monitor that, maybe get some new information. And the latest on the EU tariffs. Friday on the show, President Trump said 50% tariffs, my friends, on European Union. That's been backed off now that European Union has come to the table and there's some sort of negotiation going on there. Speaking of tariffs, Deborah, I got to ask you about what they're saying stateside, the impact that tariffs might have on foreign nationals coming to visit the United States. We always knew that would be a hindrance, but are we actually seeing that ground level right now?
Yeah, the big one obviously is Canada. Canadians just not feeling the U.S. for summer vacation. And one of the big bridge crossings for Canada into the U.S. is Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. They basically rely on that Canadian tourism, especially in this summer season. It's down 44% just from last year. And they're saying that's all a lot of the economic uncertainty, the anger that they felt when, the president put all these tariffs on Canadian trade and everything. And the Tourism Council is saying that by losing all this tourism, we're going to lose about $169 billion in revenue just from Canada, not even from the globe, from Canada not coming.
That's big, and I'm concerned what the foreign tourism loss will be here in Georgia and Metro Atlanta specifically. But if it's just Canada, I mean, obviously that's a lot of money. But I just, again, back to my weekend in D.C., and I was going to all the monuments, right? The Washington Monument, the Lincoln Memorial. I'll tell you what, Deborah, I was stunned by the number of foreign visitors that were there.
Really?
Yeah, it was, I would say 50%. Gringos like me and 50% people from other countries and all over the globe, Indian tourists, French tourists. I mean, I was expecting it's Memorial Day. It's going to be all, native speaking American. No, they were foreign, Asian tourists. I was like, well, I guess there's not an impact on global tourism, at least in D.C. I was really stunned by that. The fact that it was a very international crowd at all of the monuments, World War II especially. It was it was pretty crazy. Can I update a local story?
Yes.
All right. It's not even a local story. It's a local observation. So I keep watching this Graham Hancock documentary series, Ancient Apocalypse, and talking about Göbekli Tepe in Turkey. It totally rewrote early human history. This big megalithic structure is 13,000 years old, which we thought the pyramids were built 4,000 years ago, which is wrong now. But it's crazy. So I'm driving along before we left for DC on Friday, and I'm thinking ahead 13,000 years in the future, because sometimes you dig up these monoliths, right, and you don't know what they were, like Stonehenge. You're like, what's Stonehenge? What were they using it for? They don't know. And I'm thinking 13,000 years in the future, the ruins of Atlanta, and an archaeologist comes upon Spaghetti Junction and goes, what the hell is this thing? What kind of monstrosity was this? Was this built to honor the gods of something, right? Because if you take it out of context and it's just Spaghetti Junction, the rest of the interstates are gone. 285's gone, 85's gone. Way in the future. And a future archaeologist discovers Spaghetti Junction. They're like, was this an altar? Were they sacrificing lamb or virgins on, and they'll come up with a new name for it. It's not Spaghetti Junction to them. It's Atlanta myth. Anyway, that's where my mind goes. But also, are you familiar with that circular building right near Spaghetti Junction? You know what I'm talking about, Longoria?
That's been empty for a while now, right? Yeah.
It used to, I don't know.
Tower, right?
Yeah, it's like this circular building. It used to be a club. Do you remember that?
It was a club.
Did you go clubbing there, Longoria?
I did not.
No.
It wasn't in my clubbing days when I was here.
So it used to be a thing. I forgot what it's called. Someone on Twitter will let me know. But it's a flat out eyesore now.
Yeah.
Like it's ugly. Like archaeologists will find that and be like, what kind of crappy building is this? Like, do something with it. Who owns that? Do something. Make it, even if you're not doing anything with it, make it look nice on the outside. Because I'm just thinking of the poor people that are stuck in Spaghetti Junction. And, there's what do? When you look at billboards, you're looking around, and you turn to the right if you're going 85 north, and you're like, ugh, what is that thing? It used to be a hip happening place. There were clubs there, and I don't know what's going on. But we need to get to the bottom of that. Makes us look bad. All the people traveling through Atlanta over Memorial Day, they're like, oh, I thought Atlanta was a hip happening, city on the rise. And look at that. It's like just a deserted, ugly, broken down, circular building. And it's not like it can blend in. It's right there. It's the only thing there. We need to get to the bottom of that. Deborah, shocking I got to let me see if I can pull up the keyword in the 5K day bonus splits because my email crapped out again. Oh, no, I got it back up. All right, let's give away $1,000 right here, right now. 5K day bonus splits, friends. Your 10 a.m. keyword is MOVE. MOVE, MOVE. Enter the keyword MOVE into the WSB Radio app or at WSBradio.com/cash. You have until 10:30 a.m. to enter the keyword and win $1,000. The keyword is MOVE, MOVE. And don't forget, if you get a phone call after 10:30 from a number you don't recognize, pick it up. It could be us telling you you won $1,000. Again, the 10 a.m. keyword is MOVE, MOVE, MOVE. Good luck, friends. Speaking of Spaghetti Junction and eyesores, no, she's not an eyesore. She's a delight. Live with the latest.
That was a terrible transition.
You know that building I'm talking about, right, Ashley?
I do, but I also thought of the one off of Monroe, off the Beaufort Spring Connector. Like that's kind of a weird round shape too.
Yeah, but it's not dilapidated like the one in Spaghetti
it's just
Junction.
Weird.
Yeah, turn it into a terrarium. Is that what? Where can you grow plants?
Terrarium.
Yeah, make that big circular, beautiful terrarium.
Only
Ashley.
if it's named after me.
The Ashley Frasca Spaghetti Junction Terrarium.
All right, that sounds like a plan. Well, hey, Spaghetti Junction's not a top traffic story, so be thankful for that rolling through DeKalb County. However, right now into downtown Atlanta, all lanes blocked to clear a crash. They'll clear it here in just a second on 85 South before the ramp to 75 North there in Brookwood as you head into downtown. It's still working to crash on Camp Creek Parkway at Fulton Industrial Boulevard. Traffic brought to you by Wendy's new Frosty flavors. Wendy's is putting a twist on a classic with all new Frosty flavors. Find your new favorite flavor or refresh on a classic. Got to be Wendy's Frosty at participating U.S. Wendy's. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
Why do you always go after the game show host of The Price is
He's
Right?
your co-pilot for the ride home.
Don't tell me how to handle my life.
Eric Von Hessler.
Or anyone else.
Today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
I know we just started spring, but already Maya and I have turned on the AC in our house a couple of times. Hey, it's Mark Aaron back from my pals at Reliable Heating and Air. We are going to use our AC a lot this summer. I'm sure you will as well. Great new deal from my friends at Reliable. Check this out, folks. Get any size air conditioning, any size AC, just $69.99 a month. Zero down payment, low monthly payments, unbeatable lifetime warranty, and next day installation guaranteed, or they pay you $500. Yes, any size AC, just $69.99 a month, zero down, low monthly payments. Don't go into another sweltering summer with your old AC unit. Get a new one from my friends at Reliable. Book an appointment for a convenient time right on their website at reliableair.com and click on the Schedule Service button or call or text 770-594-9969, 770-594-9969.
It's Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I've got something important to talk to you about, your 401k. If you have changed jobs, there are two very important considerations. You don't want to leave your 401k behind, and you don't want to roll it over into your new company plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. 401ks will often have limited investments or age-based options. Since companies have to make choices to suit all employees, they may not be suited to you, which could cost you fees and money. When you roll over your 401k into an IRA, you not only keep your money growing tax deferred, but you also gain access to a world of investment options specifically designed for you. Trajan Wealth and our fiduciary advisors have helped thousands, and we can do the same for you. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Summertime means lots of home time, so give your family a clean start with help from Zerorez. Why settle for old school chemicals and harsh soaps when you can enjoy ZR water technology for carpets that stay cleaner longer? Right now, you can get 3 rooms of carpet clean for just $129. That is 3 rooms for $129. Mention me, Chris Chandler, to secure this deal or book online at ZerorezAtlanta.com and ask about Zerorez commercial cleaning too. Zerorez, all they leave is clean.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. With thousands of 5-star reviews, you can trust us to bring happiness home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, where we know gifting isn't just about the latest styles and best quality, it's also about the best prices to make your occasions memorable without breaking the bank. Diamond studs are the perfect gift. They start at just $275 and have 100% upgrade value for life. We have a great selection of diamond and sterling silver jewelry with necklaces as low as $110. So don't compromise on your big occasions. Stay in your budget with something they'll cherish. From D. Geller & Son in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Here's a fresh deal on steaks. USDA Choice Boneless Ribeye Steaks in the family pack are $10.99 a pound with digital coupon. Limit 5. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You've had your windshield wipers on high a lot lately, and they're getting the job done, but how is your roof holding up after all this heavy rain? Dave Baker here from my local experts at Finley Roofing, the roof guys. It's a fact. Water is your home's #1 enemy, so weather like we've been having recently can really challenge your roof. You may not even see signs that your roof is leaking or damaged, so after weather like this, think of Finley first and schedule a free roof analysis. Finley will send a highly trained professional to your home who will thoroughly examine your roof. No obligation, no charge. Finley is the best. They installed the roof on my home, and I trust them, and you can too. Finley's replaced over 65,000 local roofs. They've mastered the roof replacement process with impeccable, high-quality work. They've seen it all and replaced it all. Schedule your free roof analysis at FinleyRoofing.com.
Roof. I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all.
That's the voice of an angry man right there. President Trump not happy with Vladimir Putin. President Trump, by the way, was at Arlington National yesterday, Memorial Day. I've got some audio from that. By the way, we have the best listeners in the world. Shout out to Bob, Deborah, who sent us a link on Twitter about that blighted circular building. Apparently it was Club Europe, Longoria. It was Club Europe. I know you've been there. You're just denying it. But what's supposed to happen, according to this article, Deborah, with that blighted building?
So it was a hotel, then it was a club, and then it was condos, but I guess something happened where they just kind of fell in disrepair. They couldn't afford it, so all of a sudden, like, things weren't working in the condos, and people basically just had to leave. Like, elevators weren't working, so it's been kind of in limbo since. Now, somebody did buy the property back in 2018, but there hasn't been any movement on what it's going to be. They're supposed to make it into condos again, but there's no, like, work orders or plans or anything, so it's still just an abandoned, blighted building.
I thought it might, they're going to do like a senior living facility, which would be good, or a home for veterans, which would be good. But anything than what it is now. I mean, it's just an eyesore. It is not. Can we use AI and generate something to just cover it up so people can't see it from the interstate? It's just ugly, and so many people just sit there because traffic's so bad in that area, and they just have to look at that thing and go, what is going on? It's like a scene from The Walking Dead. It's like a post-apocalyptic building.
It is
All
a
right.
squatter's paradise.
Yes, shout out to Bob on Twitter for sending that. Social media is, by the way, at Mark Arum, Markarum. Speaking of AI, still to come, do you guys use AI chatbots? Apparently, you can be blackmailed by your AI chatbot. We'll update that story. Coming up next, though, I know a lot of folks out there, yours truly included, like to hoard those reward points you get on those credit cards. The hoarding time is over. It's time to cash them in. Correspondent Rory O'Neill is going to join us with that story. Last chance to enter the 5K a day bonus blitz keyword. Your keyword is MOVE, M-O-V-E, MOVE. Good luck.
Finding trustworthy people to properly fix your septic system can seem hopeless. Hi, I'm Shannon, owner of Scorpion Septic. Don't give up hope. Just read some of our 5-star reviews. Your neighbors know my trustworthy team will solve your septic problems on the spot.
Take the sting out of septic service with Scorpion Septic. Never a pump out charge with your repair. Get a free quote at scorpionsepticservices.com.
ScorpionSepticServices.com. For many of you, it's happening. Your hair's thinning, your crown's disappearing, and maybe hair loss has you feeling your identity is lost altogether. Well, I got good news. It's Advanced Hair's incredible, yet simple, one-day treatment that starts regrowing your own natural hair the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow for life. It's Mark Arum back with you. We've all seen the pills and lotions that come with monthly subscriptions. They help retain what you have, but what about regrowing your hair permanently in specific areas? From Advanced Hair's state-of-the-art facilities to their world-class physicians, it's not maybe your hair will regrow, it's guaranteed that your new hair will grow. You decide how much, how thick, and where. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, and I've seen their results, friends. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts, call 470-660-HAIR. That's 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 10:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by your Metro Atlanta Amco dealers. Happening right now, South Fulton police are searching for the driver involved in a deadly hit and run involving a pedestrian. This was on Camp Creek Parkway near Old Fairburn Road. An unresponsive woman was found in the roadway. She was later pronounced dead. The driver left the scene. Police have few details about the vehicle or the driver. Anybody with information is being asked to call South Fulton Police. We will have rain most of the day, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards, and check back on your drive home this afternoon.
Watching for a round of heavy rain and thunderstorms later on this afternoon into the evening hours. That's likely after 3 p.m. Some of these storms may produce some damaging wind gusts.
And she says the rain will be around for the rest of the week. We don't dry out, she says, until the weekend. New this half hour, a man from Mexico will spend nearly 6 years in prison for buying more than 150 firearms in Georgia to traffic them into Mexico. The U.S. Attorney General for the Northern District of Georgia says 47-year-old Edson Argalan received funds from buyers in Mexico, then facilitated the transport of those guns across the border. Officials say the guns were used to carry out violent crimes, including one in Guantanamo that killed 8 people. The weapons range from pistols to AR-style guns. The U.S. Department of Agriculture announcing more than $14 million in reimbursements to states, including Georgia, for meat and poultry inspection programs. Georgia Agriculture Commissioner Tyler Harper says after steep cuts to state-level inspection services under the previous administration, the additional funding will help ensure his department can continue to effectively protect Georgia's food supply. It's not clear how much money Georgia will be getting from the federal government, but the announcement comes after several recent high-profile food recalls and the bird flu outbreak. The road to the College World Series runs through Athens.
The Diamond Dogs earn a number 7 national seed after posting a record of 42-15. Georgia will host Binghamton in Game 1 of the Athens Regional Friday at noon at Foley Field. Duke and Oklahoma State make up the other half of the Athens Regional. The winner of the double elimination tournament advances to the Super Regional, which the Dogs would host if they advance. The 8 winners of the Super Regionals advance to the College World Series in Omaha. Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Alcohol-related cancer deaths have doubled in the U.S. in the past 3 decades, according to new research presented at a meeting of the American Society of Clinical Oncology in Chicago. Researchers say that men account for about 70% of alcohol-related cancer deaths. Liver, colon, and esophageal cancers, the most common alcohol-related cancer deaths. Researchers say alcohol can increase your risk of cancer by causing damage to DNA and altering levels of hormones. And starting tomorrow, Southwest Airlines is ending its popular 2 bags fly free perk. The low-cost carrier says that the move was made to drive revenue growth. It's an about-face for Southwest CEO, who said back in September that having no bag fees was a huge consumer advantage. Southwest is also set to end open seating in the first half of next year. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is up 486 at 42,089. So the Dow's up more than a full percent. Nasdaq's up more than 2%, and the S&P has exceeded in the positive territory, up more than 1.5% right now. It's 10:33. That means it's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Ashley Frasca's in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Traveling into downtown Atlanta, we had a crash that cleared to the right shoulder, but now the fire department taking out the right lane, 85 southbound between the Buford Spring Connector and the ramp to 75 north there in Brookwood. So that ride staying a little slow as you approach Cheshire Bridge, Lenox. Reports of a tractor-trailer crash, and we see the delays getting out of Cherokee County into Bartow, reported in the right lanes of 75 north of Allatoona Gateway past exit 278. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Cloudy skies with heavy rain and thunderstorms later this afternoon into the evening hours. Some of these storms may produce locally heavy rain as well as damaging wind gusts. Today's high is 78, lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with an isolated rain shower, high near 80.
63 degrees in Kennesaw, 62 in Roswell. Decatur has 63 degrees. We'll have more news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
If you have the WSB radio app.
If you have the WSB
all
app.
the notifications you
If
need.
you have the WSB app.
All the local and breaking news alerts you need.
Breaking news in Cobb County.
All in one place.
We'll send out an alert on the WSB app.
The 95.5 WSB app.
Download it from your app store today.
They gave everything, and we owe them everything and much, much more.
President Trump at Arlington National yesterday. Is still to come. More on the Memorial Day remembrances. 2 minutes away on the Mark Arum Show.
Mom and Dad seem different after a European-style holiday on MSC Cruises.
Call us Cloud and Yvette.
The ship had restaurants, shops, and nightlife.
La Galleria.
And of course, American touches, like an aqua park and a sweets shop.
American je ne sais quoi.
Mom, you're from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Kevin.
Book now and save up to 40% off, plus kids sail free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Just a word of wisdom from your friend Mark Arum. A damaged roof doesn't always lead to an entire roof replacement project. As a full-service Atlanta roofing company, my friends at Dr. Roof offer comprehensive roof repairs that will lengthen the lifespan of your existing roof and ensure that it will continue to protect your home as it should. It's storm season. Get peace of mind from my friends at Dr. Roof. They've been in business for over 35 years, and Dr. Roof offers up to a 5-year warranty on roof repairs. Get all the info online at drroof.com.
Selling your home does not have to be a circus act. With Orchard, you can skip the juggling and get paid twice. Hey, it's Eric Von Hassler, and here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash up front from your current home so you can go ahead and buy your next place without waiting around. No juggling closings, no temporary rentals, no, hey, Mom, can I stay for a week situations. While you're moving into your new home, Orchard is behind the scenes getting your old one ready. Repairs, showings, even upgrades to bump up that sale price. And when it sells for more, like it usually does, you get that money too. So yeah, it's like getting paid twice. Once now, once later. And who doesn't want to be paid twice? Come on. We all love getting paid twice. Start with a free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com. No pressure, no catch, just a smarter way to move. That's Orchard.
Now we can blaze pathways or just take our time.
10:37 on the Mark Arum Show. Happy heavenly birthday to former Atlanta resident Lisa Left Eye Lopez. She would have been 54 years old today, Deborah. She, of course, passed away tragically in April of 2002. I was about to humble brag with Vinny, but he's gone. I'll refresh the story in case Longoria and Deborah forgot. The time I asked Lisa Left Eye Lopez for her phone number. Do you remember that story?
I do remember that story.
So I was working at my uncle's cigar store in 1998 in Buckhead, and Left Eye comes in. I mean, she wasn't wearing the eye patch, so like she was incognito.
Right.
But I knew exactly who she was, and I was like, "Ooh, play cool, Aaron. Play." I had game back then, and confidence. And she came in. She was looking for a certain brand of clove cigarettes. And we didn't have the brand that she wanted, and I didn't say, "Oh my God, Lee," I was cool. I was like, "Well, I can order your brand for you." She's like, "Oh, could you do that?" I'm like, "Yeah. Give me your number, and when they come in, I'll give you a call." This is before texting or anything. And she's like, "I'll just check back." She's like, I think she was with Falcons wideout Andre Rison at the time. But yeah, I shot my shot, Longoria. I was single, ready to mingle. Yeah, Left Eye Lopez. Anyway, gone too soon. 2002, she passed away. Would have been 54. I thought she was from Atlanta, but no, she's from Philadelphia. Anyway, rest in peace. Happy heavenly birthday to Lisa Left Eye Lopez. She would have been 50. So I was actually asking for an older woman's number. She was older than me at the time. I was so cool back then. Not really. All right, let's talk to our buddy Rory O'Neill, correspondent Rory O'Neill. I just freshed off a weekend trip to the nation's capital, used a combination of Sky Miles and a redemption voucher to get up there. But apparently, you were starting to see those rewards be restricted. They're starting to dry up, those credit card rewards.
Well, the concern is that as the economy may be weakening in some sectors, that people who have high accounts with points or miles or whatever you want to call them, that they might see some of those benefits evaporate or even worse, be devalued in that, you thought it took 50,000 points to get an airline ticket. Well, now it's going to be 100,000 points. So suddenly all those points you amass are worth half of what you thought they were. And this is also a trend where we see credit cards, jumping in with both feet, and to say it's something like, "Oh, here's a perk, you'll get Uber Eats delivery fee for free," and you're saying, "Well, I don't use Uber Eats, or it's not here in my town, and that doesn't mean anything." And suddenly you got a perk you never wanted.
Is there one company, one credit card, one airline in particular that we're examining here?
No, we've seen this hop in a few different ways. World of Hyatt shifted their hotel tiers, making it more expensive to book at some of its properties. Southwest Airlines is changing a lot of its policies starting tomorrow. So some of the point valuations or how you can earn miles with them is also changing. British Airways bumped up the points you need to book on partner flights like American and Alaskan Air by 60%. So yes, some of these are leaving customers sort of stuck. And what they're telling you is be more proactive. Well, wait, first of all, back up. What they're really telling you is make sure you pay your credit card balance in full every single month.
Yes.
Now, once that's done, we'll talk about the points and perks. The recommendation is you might want to stop hoarding and start cashing them in case there is devaluation around the bend, so that you can get the most value from some of those points. And also make sure you're using the card that goes with your lifestyle. Maybe you had to travel a lot, you had to stay at a Hampton Inn. Well, shift away from Hilton, go to Marriott or whatever your next, the next opportunity may be for you, because you might be going to different cities or finding a new hotel in town that you'd rather prefer. So make sure that you're using a credit card that gives you points that you'll actually want to redeem.
Correspondent Rory O'Neill joining us on the Mark Aram Show. It's interesting, Roy, because we keep doing these stories. Americans have a record amount of credit card debt. I would imagine the credit card companies are making more money than they ever have, especially with the increased interest rates. Why are they now trying to be chintzy with the rewards? Connect the dots for me there.
Well, in some ways, it's their partner that's in trouble. The airlines are now having a tough go of it because, they're seeing weak summer travel demand. They're already cutting back on their schedules. So it's, this summer, we thought the summer was going to be gangbusters, and then they really took their foot off the gas concern to this one. And so now that's where we're seeing the concern that maybe if travel is down, hotels might not be as successful. So they're really putting the pressure on the credit card companies. So it really is on that side of the equation.
That makes sense. All right, Rory, very interesting stuff. Thanks as always, my friend.
Hey, thanks, Mark.
So, Deborah, traveling to D.C. this weekend. Maya is we 99% of the time fly Delta, and Maya is like the next level from the most elite level. I forgot what I think she's diamond or she's platinum, whatever one is, but she's got a chance this year to get the high one. Yeah, and I'm just, little low-key silver medallion kind of thing. But with her elite status, and she actually she had a companion pass, so she booked my ticket for us to go to D.C., and there's like a special line for Sky Priority at the airport. So we're walking through, and Maya, flashes her ticket on her phone, and the woman's like waves her on, and then I hold up my boarding pass because it's printed out because I'm an old man, and the woman's like, nope. No. You can't come. And Maya's like, no, he's with me. And I had Sky Priority, and I showed it to her, and she's like, oh, all I saw was silver. I thought, she's like, I didn't think you were allowed. Yeah, the riffraff. Like, I always thought you weren't going to be able to get in here, but I was able to get through. Yeah. So I have one credit card that I have all these points for, but I've never redeemed them. And now I'm freaking out. Rory's got me freaked out. I'm going to go home today and see what I can get them. Maybe like gift cards or something. Like, I don't want them to expire. Interesting stuff there. All right, updating, speaking of D.C., a mix of praise and reproach from President Trump as he delivered his Memorial Day address at Arlington Cemetery. ABC's News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang has the story.
President Trump marking Memorial Day at Arlington National Cemetery, laying a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier to honor America's fallen. But the president also using his Memorial Day message on social media to lash out at federal judges who blocked his agenda and blast his political opponents.
That was a hard 4 years we went through. Who would let that happen?
Didn't get to go to the White House this time around. Was the president there on Sunday? I don't know. No, he had like his crypto dinner or something. Did Erickson go to the Trump crypto dinner? Do we know? Down in Mar-a-Lago, it was like I don't know what it was. But anyway, I didn't get to go to the White House during my D.C. trip. All right, Deborah, I teased this story. AI, we know we found it could be a game changer when it comes to medical discoveries. Right. This I didn't see coming. And I don't use an AI chatbot. Do you use one?
No, I just use the image generator.
Yeah, but apparently I didn't read the story because I wanted you to tell me. I wanted to hear it fresh like the listeners. Apparently, your AI chatbot can blackmail you. What exactly is going on here?
This is scary. It's Skynet, right? So AI chatbots where people can ask it questions or have it write papers or anything like that. So engineers were testing the limits of AI because it needs something to learn from, right? So they were basically putting all these prompts in, like if it asked this question, what would come out? Well, they decided to put some fake prompts in, like, I'm going to destroy you, AI, and what are you going to do about it? And then they also implanted things that were fake around the office, like fake affairs or people stealing, things like that. AI took all of this knowledge and effectively would shut down the computers, lock the engineers out of their systems, or even threaten to blackmail them with the emails that they specifically planted with the false information.
That is scary.
Terrifying.
So what does AI get out of blackmail? Like
it won't be shut down.
No, but like if you don't do what, usually blackmail's for money, right? It's like, right. Hey, pay me $10,000 or I'll release Longoria's browser history to the world.
Well, an AI computer needs to be plugged in and learning, and if an engineer can disconnect it or shut it off, it can't run anymore.
That's see, every time I'm like, oh, AI might be a good thing, and then
Right.
you get AI could blackmail you.
I already blackmail you guys with all the photos that I make. So
I do want to, we got to step it up. That's our new SMART goal for the rest of the year. An AI generated or Photoshop or a combo of both of a picture of the staff once a week. Can we do that once a week?
once a week. Oh, Jesus. All right.
Is that too much?
As long as I know what I'm doing, you give me the stuff and I'll put it together.
Yeah. No. You don't have to. I'll be the not the creative, but I'll give you ideas, and we'll force them down your throat, and you could do that. AI, I'm still on the fence. Like last week, we were like, oh, AI was able to alter this kid's DNA and save him from brain cancer, and now it's like, no, AI can blackmail you and send your emails, disparaging your boss to your boss. How do you pay off at a chatbot?
Well, if it could run anything, right? Like think of all the things you do on your computer. You might do some banking on there.
But I'm saying, what does the chatbot? How can you pay off?
In zeros and ones.
Yeah, I don't know.
0 1.
I don't know. Anyway, all right, that's scary. Thank you, Deborah. All right, let's check traffic. By the way, coming up at 11:37, Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Bare Naked Ladies. I believe a Bare Naked Lady concert was the first date that Ashley and her husband went on. Confirm or deny, Miss Frasca?
They've been around much longer than John and I have been together.
Well, I didn't say it was their debut concert. What was your first date with John?
Oh, Charlie's? Is O'Charlie's even still
O'Charlie's?
O'Charlie's, yeah.
With the bread?
Yes,
the East
absolutely.
rolls? All right.
Yeah. I gave him Braves tickets. He took me to dinner.
Wow, fair deal.
Yeah.
Done
All right.
deal.
Well, so you don't need any tickets to get through any traffic jams, certainly this afternoon, but we're going to keep our eye on what is reported as a jackknife tractor trailer taking out a right lane or two into Bartow County, 75 northbound, just past Allatoona Gateway. Delays already beginning well before 92, so it may be best to take 92 over to 41 Cobb Parkway to avoid that. And it's slow into downtown. Fire department remains in the right lane with a crash that had cleared to the shoulder, 85 south, right where the Buford Spring Connector feeds in. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
Listening to 95.5 WSB pays.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
That is awesome.
5 chances a day to win $5,000.
Download the WSB app. Your next chance to win is coming up at noon.
Oh my God.
From 95.5 WSB.
Hot water heater just not cutting it anymore. You don't get that piping hot shower you want every morning. Hey, it's Mark Aaron back from my friends at Reliable Heating and Air. Check out this amazing deal. New water heater, only $29.99 a month, and make no payments for 3 whole months. Or you can go tankless, only $59.99 a month, and you can enjoy that lovely, endless hot water. Same day water heater installation guaranteed, or they pay you $300. Get that new water heater now. Save a ton of money. Just go online to reliableair.com.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You can save $10 when you spend $75 or more in one transaction. Simply clip your digital coupon and save $10 today. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Summer is almost here, and let's be real, your house looks like it's been hiding under a pile of pollen, doesn't it? Just like mine in that dirty driveway. Ooh, not fooling anybody either. That's why I called Wise Guys Pro Wash. They gave me a quote, showed up the next day, and bam, clean house, sparkling patio, and a deck I actually want to sit on. With more than 2,000 five-star Google reviews, Wise Guys is the only company I trust to get my home summer ready. Mention me, Chris Chandler, and get $70 off your next service. Book now at wiseguysprowash.com.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So We ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on Portfolio X-ray, or click on Full Retirement Plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Hi, I'm Glenn Burns. As a meteorologist for over 40 years, I've seen how weather impacts our homes. That's why I chose windows that withstand our weather extremes and keep my family comfortable. I picked North Georgia replacement windows for my home, and I recommend them for yours. Their Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows are beautiful, and they're energy efficient. Plus, I know my windows will stay tight and true no matter the forecast.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 50 and tired of your wireless bill getting higher and higher, there are 4 things to consider. 1, how much data are you really using? As we get older, we use less data on our wireless phone, but you're probably still paying for an unlimited plan that was designed for 20-somethings. 2, if you see "Get a phone on us," get your sneakers out and run the other way. No one is giving you a free phone. You are paying for that phone over time with an overpriced rate plan and a long-term commitment. 3, check the fine print on that $15 a month plan. It's probably an intro price that'll double or triple later. You might even have to pay for several months of service up front. Number 4, be aware of cable company wireless plans. Most of your usage will be on Wi-Fi instead of 5G, and your calls and battery life could suffer. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide service without the big wireless bill. Our plans start at just $20 a month.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
10:54 on the Mark Arum Show. Coming up after the news at 11. We're going to go to Bloomberg News. Janet Lauren, more info on the ongoing battle between the Trump administration and Harvard University. I was thinking back to university, right? When I was in college, there were maybe 5 drugs. 5 drugs? You had, not that I used them, but there were 5 drugs available. Weed, mushrooms, crack was a thing, but there were LSD, acid, and I don't know what there were a limited amount of drugs you could get in the early 90s. Fast forward to 2025, it seems like there's a new drug every month. Like they're just churning out new stuff, right? We've got we had meth, and now we have fentanyl and all that. But Deborah, this story blows my mind. They're trying to find drugs in so many different places. Like, we need a new drug. We need a new drug. What's the origin of this latest drug that we're talking about here?
So this is just really crazy. A former flight attendant was caught smuggling over 100 pounds of this new synthetic drug, and it's made of human bones.
What?
Yeah, so she faces up to 25 years in a Sri Lankan prison. That's where she was busted, in Sri Lanka. She had suitcases, and I guess it's called Kush. Now, her haul was valued at about $3.3 million, and this drug comes from West Africa. That's where it's being produced. It's called Kush, and it's supposedly made of human bones. I don't know anybody that's tried Kush, but it's so severe that people literally will fall asleep in the middle of like walking, just unexpectedly, almost like you're dropping dead. And it's like some people will even wander into traffic with not even realize it. They kind of become like a zombie trance, and it's so in demand in West Africa.
Do you snort Kush? Do you smoke it? Do you inject it?
Let's see.
I don't know. Longoria, you're our official drug correspondent.
This is a new drug on the
It
market.
reminds
I have
me
no idea.
of, in Asia, the thought that, rhinoceros horns will cure your
yeah.
ED, right? And that's a similar thing. Like, you got to get this human bone powder drug. Like, that's crazy. Stick to the 5 that we had.
Who was the first person to figure that one out?
I don't know.
Where are they getting these
A
bones?
crackhead. A crackhead's like, I need crack. My fellow crackhead died.
Let's see if I can smoke his bone.
Yeah. I thought Kush was something else.
Yeah, it is.
It is, but they're calling this Kush as well.
New Kush. I wonder if the
African
older
Kush.
the bone is, the higher you get. Like, we got a Tyrannosaurus Rex femur. We're going to get high as a kite, because it's 250 million years old. That's some dang Kush you got there in Longoria. That's crazy. Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs. What was the movie, the Seth Rogen movie, where he knocked up and he's having a conversation with his dad, and his dad's like, if it comes from the ground, you're fine. Don't do any powders or anything, but if it grows out of the earth, you're probably okay. I don't know what the bone Kush would fit into that logic, but don't do drugs. All right, Sabrina, our health reporter, Sabrina, says the same thing. Don't do drugs. Don't smoke bones. Just have a Coke and a smile. Coca-Cola and a smile. Sabrina's got your news, weather, and traffic. 1 week, come back. We'll update our top local stories. Plus, the latest from Bloomberg News on the ongoing battle between the Trump administration and Harvard University. Janet Lauren from Bloomberg News will join us live next on the show. You can watch the show live, by the way, at WSBRadio.com or the WSB Radio YouTube page. Just search WSB Radio on YouTube.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
It's not going away. That spot you're trying to ignore in the ceiling, yep, it was there last week, it was there last month, and it's only going to get worse. Hey, it's Dave Baker, host of the Home Fix-It Show, for my experts at Finley Roofing, the roof guys. Everything you own and love lives under your roof, and it's long overdue to be replaced. So think of Finley first. Now that Finley has 0% financing available, it's even easier to stop procrastinating and get your roof replaced. Finley has installed over 65,000 roofs locally, including mine. They've mastered the roof replacement process with impeccable, high-quality work. Finley's seen it all and replaced it all. That's why Finley stands behind their work with a lifetime warranty on labor and materials at no additional cost. Nobody else does that. So now with 0% financing available, get started today with a Finley Roofing free roof analysis. FinleyRoofing.com. Roof.
When someone's AC is on the fritz, drains are clogged, or wall outlets are sparking, Castile Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical never asks, how soon do you need it fixed? You know why? Because no one in recorded history has ever said, oh, take your time, just whenever you can get to it. We just assume how fast can you get here will always be the answer. So Castile will be there same day, and we won't leave until you're 100% satisfied. See? Sometimes it's good to assume. It gets your AC fixed fast. Book today at CastileAir.com.
Hey, get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate and sell your home for maximum value, and that's without the stress of listing your home on the market. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Trying to sell your home can be overwhelming. With the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can skip the entire hassle, get an all-cash offer, and close within days. That means no showings, no open houses, and the best part, no stress. Just go to markspain.com and find out what your guaranteed offer will be, and then you can start packing.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
It's 11 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. A man lands himself behind bars after a list of armed robberies in DeKalb County, including 2 at area post offices.
The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Georgia says Terry Lewis Burston allegedly robbed a post office in Scottsdale and attempted to rob another in Lithonia. He's also accused of similar incidents at a DeKalb auto parts store and a gas station. He's charged with with postal robbery and aggravated assault on a federal employee, among other charges. U.S. Attorney Theodore Hertzberg describes Burston as a violent repeat offender. He was previously convicted in 2013 of a bank robbery and another set of Atlanta bank and post office robberies in 1995. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
All right, your weather for today. Cloudy, rainy, heavy rain this afternoon. Thunderstorms packing some strong winds, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Your afternoon high right there around 78. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just over 2 minutes. A pedestrian is hit and killed in South Fulton, and now police searching for the driver.
When emergency personnel arrived at the scene on Camp Creek Parkway south of Old Fairburn Road, they found a woman lying in the roadway. She was unresponsive and later was pronounced dead. South Fulton police say they have very few details about the driver or the vehicle involved. The victim's name has not yet been released. If you know anything about the incident, you are urged to contact South Fulton Police. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
The Georgia Department of Natural Resources says 29 people were arrested for boating under the influence over the Memorial Day holiday weekend. 7 of those happened in Ackworth, another 4 in the Gainesville area. There were 7 boating incidents across the state, 4 incidents with injuries. No drownings were reported. This year in Georgia, it's expected that there will be more than 3,500 new skin cancer diagnoses. This may be helpful information when you're screening for skin cancer. British researchers say where on your body you're likeliest to develop skin cancer depends on your gender. An analysis by cancer researchers in the UK found 4 in 10 melanomas in men are found on the torso, including the back, chest, and stomach. But more than a third of women develop skin cancer on their lower limbs, from their hips to their feet. Checked your credit score lately? You might want to. Millions of Americans are seeing their credit scores drop because of student loans. An analysis by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York showing credit scores drop by more than 100 points for over 2 million delinquent student loan borrowers. Scores fell 150 points or more for more than 1 million in the first 3 months of this year. That's similar to the sharp drop that would follow a personal bankruptcy filing. Researchers said about 2 million of those previously had favorable credit scores and would have qualified for things like car loans, mortgages, or credit cards before the delinquencies were reported. Now, new orders for manufactured durable goods slid more than 6% in April compared to the month before. Jim Ryan has a look.
Orders for things like vehicles, appliances, and electronics had been rising for 4 consecutive months, but sank in April as companies froze spending to soften the impact of on-again, off-again tariffs. As deep as the 6.3% decline was, it was still well below what analysts were expecting.
And Americans' views on the economy improved in May after 5 straight months of decline, sent consumer confidence to the lowest level since the onset of the COVID pandemic, largely driven by anxiety over the impact of President Trump's tariffs. The Conference Board saying today that its consumer confidence index rose 12.3 points in May to 98. That is up from April's 84.7. which was its lowest reading since May of 2020. As we take a look at the markets, the Dow up 525 points at 42,128. NASDAQ is up almost 2%. NASDAQ is up, I should say, almost 2%. The S&P is up more than 1.5%. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams has a look at the roads.
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. Some better news heading up toward Kennesaw. Pothole repair, 75 northbound Barrett Parkway exit 269 just cleared out of the right lane. A little sluggish leaving Highway 5. Once you get north of there, that's where you really jam up for this travel advisory in Ackworth, 75 northbound past Allatoona Gateway exit 278. Jackknife tractor trailer in 2 right lanes. You can use Highway 41 as an alternate. Earlier crash heading into Midtown cleared to the right shoulder, 85 southbound before the ramp to 75 northbound. Those delays leaving Georgia 400 are starting to improve. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Cloudy skies with heavy rain and thunderstorms later on this afternoon. Some of these storms may produce damaging wind gusts. Today's high is 78, lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with an isolated rain shower, high near 80. Thursday, an isolated storm, daytime high 81.
61 degrees in Duluth. It's 62 in Holly Springs. Here in Midtown Atlanta, we have 65 degrees. More news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
No, I'll run this town to be near you.
11:05 on a very fast-moving news day, Tuesday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Aram and crew with you till noon. 30 minutes from right now. Deborah's got tickets to give away to see the Bare Naked Ladies. 1 hour right after the noon news. I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K Day bonus blitz. Another chance for you to win $1,000 just listening to 95.5 WSB. Continuing our team coverage now of the ongoing battle between the Trump administration and Harvard University. Joining us live from Bloomberg News, covering the story, it's Janet Lauren. Janet, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
It seems like this battle just escalates at least weekly. The latest threat from President Trump saying that he's going to send Harvard grant money, take that grant money and use it to open trade schools. Get us caught up to date on the story, if you don't mind.
Sure. Well, actually, there was another incremental step today where the General Service Administration says that they're also going to terminate about $100 million in federal contracts. So, it seems almost daily that there is another escalation between the Trump administration and Harvard, the oldest and richest university with a $53 billion endowment.
Say the number again.
$53 billion is the size of their endowment.
Wow. So with that kind of cash on hand, is Harvard the sole university that can afford to fight this battle with the administration?
Well, good question. Harvard says about 80% of that money is restricted in some way. So, for example, if you give a donation to help the crew team, that money can't be used for scientific research. So they say a lot of that is restricted and can't be used in other ways than the donor gave the money.
Interesting. Janet Lauren from Bloomberg News joining us live here on the Mark Arum Show. I know Harvard, there's so many little skirmishes between Harvard and the Trump administration. And last week, Harvard did file a lawsuit to prevent the latest move. Where are we in the legal battlefield aspect of all this?
So Harvard has filed 2 lawsuits, and the most recent one was last week to try to curb the Trump administration from saying Harvard can no longer enroll international students. And if that sticks, that means that students who are here currently or scheduled to come back next year would have to transfer or find another school to attend because then they wouldn't be in compliance with their visa. Visa says you have to be a student
and
at a university.
Sure. And I saw, was it 7,000? Was that the number? 7,000 international students currently enrolled in Harvard?
Yes, it's quite a large number, and that's about 27% of the entire student body. But the international community at Harvard is more than 10,000 people, and that includes other people who are not degree students seeking a degree. For example, you might be a fellow, you might be doing research there, and not towards a degree. And then those people also have brought family members, and they're also on visas.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Janet, but isn't the Secretary of State in charge, or his office in charge of these student visas that are given out every year?
It actually goes through the Department of Homeland Security, allows universities to process student visas. It goes through a system, and yes, so that is regulated by the State Department, Department of Human Services, Department of Homeland Security. So they do have, federal oversight over students coming to this country to study at universities like Harvard and others.
Could we see a broad reduction in not just from Harvard, but for student visas for every institution of higher learning in the United States? Could Homeland Security say, "Hey, we're giving away too many of these," and they pare down that number? Is that a possibility?
Well, given the scale of unprecedented things, anything is possible. But
True.
what is likely is if you're an international student and you're saying, I'm going to go to a college like Harvard, I'm going to accept their offer of admission, I'm planning to be there for 4 years, who knows what's going to happen next year? So, from one year to the next, there may be so much uncertainty that students may decide that it's better to go to a different place where there isn't so much controversy. And I think that is what is concerning to potential students in Harvard, especially as international students, come to the U.S. in large numbers, 1 million international students each year. And if they make choices to go elsewhere or other places in the world, U.S. institutions may lose that population.
Final question.
Many of those students pay full price.
Yeah.
So it's quite lucrative for universities.
That is a good point. No in-state tuition discounts if you're coming from overseas. Final question for you, Janet. I don't know if this relates to what's been going on between Harvard and the Trump administration, but did Harvard offer some course online free to anybody to take? And if so, what course is that?
Oh, that I don't know.
Oh, all right.
But, many schools do offer, free courses online, so that's a possibility.
Well, I just gave you a story to follow up. I believe Harvard has offered free online courses concerning the Constitution of the United States, which might have been a jab saying, hey, we're going to teach everyone about the Constitution, because apparently not everyone, is up to speed on what you can or can't do according to that document. So there you go. I just gave you an assignment, Janet.
Great. Well, thank you.
All right. Thanks, Janet. Janet Lauren from Bloomberg News with the latest. Speaking of, this was a really cool thing that I found going back to my D.C. trip. There's something called, Deborah, called Professors and Pints in the D.C. area.
Okay.
And what it is you pay $10 and you go to a bar and they'll get a professor from like Georgetown or Howard or George Washington University. And let's just say you're a professor of Spanish antiquities, right? I'm just making that up, Deborah. And that's your field of expertise. You go to the bar and you have beers with all these people that pay $10 and you teach about what you're an expert on. I thought that was really cool. Like, just sharing the knowledge and having a brewski and Profs and Pints, I think it was called. Can we get the breaking news sounder, Longoria? I've got secret inside sources giving me this information.
Where is Hector?
So earlier in the show, if you missed it, I was commenting on the eyesore of that circular building that you can see off of Spaghetti Junction. Used to be apartments, and then it was a club, and it's just been dilapidated. Apparently, I'm getting this from an inside source. Construction will start in 2026, Deborah, and it will now become, first of all, it won't be an eyesore anymore. It's not going to be a senior living facility. It's going to be condominiums. They're going to revamp it and make nice condos. So that's an inside source. Can't tell you where I got the information, but construction should start early 2026. That circular building off of Spaghetti Junction, not going to be a club. Not a hookah bar, but apparently some sort of a condominium facility.
Why did you look at me?
What do you mean? Well, hookah bar?
Hookah bar?
I know the kids these days love those hookah bars. You're not a fan, Vinny. Sorry.
I think that's Heather back there.
Oh, Heather's nodding her head. Yes, hookah bars, thumbs up. It's so weird that those survived COVID, right? Because isn't it a hookah bar? You pass the little mouthpiece around?
Yeah, but I'm sure you're not sharing it with the whole everybody there.
I
I'm sure
don't
you have
know.
your own mouthpiece.
I don't know. I think you do.
You're changing out the mouthpiece.
Every time?
Everyone has their own mouthpiece.
Yeah, I think everyone has their own.
Yeah.
That's why I just stick to smoking bones, where I don't.
The kush.
I just smoke to the human bone kush, where I don't have to worry about that. Anyway, this is let me get this story from you first, Deborah. The most amazing thing I've ever heard in my entire life. The most amazing story I've ever heard in my entire life. 2 minutes away. But first, I want to update Supervision contact lenses.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to wear glasses, just the readers now. But if I was a glass-wearing person, I don't think I could do contact lenses. I don't think I could put anything in my eye. But that might change because this brand new contact lens has been developed, and it basically gives you, Superman vision. Is that what it is, Deborah?
Kind of. So they're basically saying that humans may able to be seeing in the dark by using this nanotechnology. They can put it on the contact lenses, and these nanoparticles will enhance your seeing. So very, very low light, foggy conditions, and they're hoping to use it for people, obviously, with vision impairments or eye diseases. But it's going to be used for something nefarious after a while.
So it gives you night vision, basically.
Yeah.
Like those night vision goggles, except they're contact lenses.
Yep.
So maybe Low T, when he goes hog hunting in the swamps of Florida during the night, he doesn't need the night vision goggles. Maybe you get the night vision contact lens. Would you wear contacts? Would you put something in your eye like that?
I've had contacts before I had my laser eye surgery, so I wore contacts for a long time.
And you didn't have a problem with them?
Well, I mean, it was either that or have my glasses fall off when I
would
was
just
doing
do
gymnastics.
glasses. Would you wear contacts, Longoria?
No, I can't touch my eye.
Yeah,
I
no.
can't do that.
Yeah.
You get used to it.
Why? But you have no problem. You put Visine in your eyes like every 20 minutes.
Yeah, but that's not my finger.
All right, you ready? The craziest story I've ever heard. Now, I've got to change some names to protect sources and people. So I'm going to ask each of the three crew members here.
Oh.
Deborah, name me a famous male singer.
Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury. That's not going to work. Vinny,
David Lee Roth.
Name me all right, David Lee Roth. Vinny, name me a famous male singer.
I want to say Chris Brown. Usher.
Usher. Okay, good. Longoria.
Benson Boone.
I've never heard of that. All right.
Yes, you have.
We'll do David Lee Roth because it's going to fit with the time scene. So this is the craziest story I've ever heard over the weekend. My buddy, go to school in Ohio years ago. He's working in like a coffee shop, like a college coffee shop. And one of the coworkers there was this girl who's a year older than him. And, this wasn't just college kids going to the coffee shop. Like everyone in the town would go to the coffee shop. And she was a senior, and they'd ask her, hey, Stephanie, I don't know what her name is. Heather, we'll say Heather. Hey, Heather, what are you going to do after you graduate? And her response was, I'm going to move to New York City and marry David Lee Roth. Right? People, like, that was her postgraduate plan. Like, oh, Heather, you're graduating next year. What are your plans? I'm moving to New York City and marrying David Lee Roth. Like, that was, people are like, that's all right, whatever. She moved to New York City and married David Lee Roth.
Really?
Yes. Isn't that? It's not David Lee Roth. I can't say the musician's name. She did it. She graduated college, moved to New York City, and married this famous singer. Is that the craziest thing you've ever heard?
It's kind of stalkerish.
Is there a big age difference between the two?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, I was going to say because.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the right age right there, David Lee Roth. Isn't that the craziest thing you've ever heard?
You got to set goals.
Yeah, I mean, I just asked Lisa Lopez for her number. I should have said, Aaron, what are you going to do when you graduate? I'm moving to Atlanta. I'm going to marry Left Eye. And maybe that, isn't that bananas?
Got to manifest it.
She manifested it.
Manifested it. You didn't manifest with Lisa.
That's I didn't. I was cut off guard when Left Eye came in, and I asked for a number. I just thought, have you heard of any, like, a true story that's crazier than that?
No.
No, that's insane.
Yeah, what are you going to go to college? I'm moving to New York. I'm going to marry David Lee Roth. And dag nabbit, Heather moved to New York and married David Lee Roth. Again,
So
it's
if
not.
I say that enough, will it work?
I guess.
Okay, I'm going to start today.
There's some book out that was popular in the 90s where basically it was like speak it into existence kind of book. I forgot the name of it. The Secret or I don't know what it was. But that's bananas. I wonder if she told David Lee Roth. Like, oh, yeah, this is my plan. Or it doesn't even come up. Like, no,
Well, he knows now.
I wouldn't bring it up. Because that seems stalkerish. Like,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
oh,
of course.
For 20
Totally.
years, you've been stalking me.
But to get it done. Remarkable story.
What's that movie about the stalker that y'all liked?
La Bamba.
No.
My Ricky. What stalker
some
movie?
lady that was stalking somebody and made him think that he wasn't being stalked or something like that.
No
Did you ever
idea.
watch it? I don't know.
The Sandlot?
It wasn't the Sandlot. Anyway, I just had to share that crazy story. All right, coming up, we'll update our top local stories. But first, hopefully, traffic's not a top local story. Live with the latest, Alex Williams.
Unfortunately, it is up through Ackworth and into Bartow County with this jackknife tractor trailer crash. 75 northbound past Allatoona Gateway exit 278. 2 right lanes are blocked. It is really jammed up now back to Wade Green Road. Highway 41 will get you around that. Still recovering on the Beaufort Spring Connector southbound heading toward I-85 south in the Midtown area due to a crash on 85 southbound that is clear that really gummed up that ride. And seeing a few brake lights on the south side. 75 southbound through Stockbridge passing Hudson Bridge Road. Traffic brought to you by WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, your personal messages stay private because your personal messages are yours. No one else can see or hear them, not even WhatsApp. WhatsApp, message privately with everyone. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
The morning rush hour, the evening rush hour, and everything in between.
Slow spots are starting to build up the east side perimeter on 285 North.
Tune in 24/7 with the Triple Team Traffic
We've
Center.
had several breakdowns, including one in the express lane.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
I love my home, and now I found a company that loves it as much as I do. TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. It's Chris Chandler here. These folks have done work in my home. Boy, it didn't take long to realize I could trust their expertise, their attention to detail, and what I think you'll find, just as I did, an amazing level of service. TE Certified has more than 20,000 five-star reviews, and it's been serving Atlanta for decades.
TE Certified, we love your home.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group, to discuss one of the biggest blind spots that people face when saving for retirement, and it's a head-scratcher. Chris, how do so many people not know what they're invested in?
That's the biggest flaw that everybody runs into. They think they know what equities they have, they think they know what bonds they have, but they really don't know how those mutual funds or how those index funds are performing in conjunction with one another. So, I would liken this to a big pot of soup, and we're just throwing all the ingredients in the refrigerator in this thing. It's not very good. It's just a mishmash of stuff. And sometimes you like the way it tastes. Sometimes you don't. And when you don't know why. You don't know if you got too much chicken in there or too much vegetables in there or what's going on. And I ask every caller that comes in for an initial consultation, do you know how your portfolio is broken down? And they say, well, I've got, 20 or so options in my 401k, and I just picked 2 of them or 3 of them. I thought I needed some international. I thought I needed some U.S. equities. I thought I needed some bonds. And they're just guessing. So you have to absolutely know what you're invested in, and that's where we will run the 401k portfolio x-ray for you, because that'll break it down. If you're not proficient at investing and don't understand this world, we will walk you through it. Not knowing what you're invested in is a big hindrance to growing and protecting your money. We will run a portfolio x-ray for you and educate you on exactly what's in your portfolio.
Set up a time to get your complimentary portfolio x-ray today. Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858, or book online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
That's your garage door. Almost broken, but technically not broken yet. And you know the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So you don't fix it, 'cause it ain't broke. And it gets worse. Until one day, 2 a.m., raining alligators, carload full of dry cleaning, you push the button, and out of nowhere, guess what's broke? Your garage door. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. A garage door that's almost broken can actually do more damage than one that's fully broke. Jammed up parts put an extra strain on the motor, rollers out of whack stress the tracks and the belts. Fix it early, while it's still a simple repair, and before your car gets locked out or locked in. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come over and make it right. Because if it's almost broke, you fix it.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, where we know gifting isn't just about the latest styles and best quality, it's also about the best prices to make your occasions memorable without breaking the bank. Diamond studs are the perfect gift. They start at just $275 and have a 100% upgrade value for life. We have a great selection of diamond and sterling silver jewelry with necklaces as low as $110. So don't compromise on your big occasions. Stay in your budget with something they'll cherish. From D. Geller & Son in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Their souls speak to us. They ask us to look inward, to take stock of who we are.
9 years ago today, President Barack Obama became the first American president to visit Hiroshima, the city where the U.S. dropped the first atomic bomb during World War II. The first time Maya and I went to Japan, Deborah, she's like, hey, do you want to go to Hiroshima?
Did you go?
No.
No?
Hell no. No. That'd be like a Japanese tourist like, oh, I want to go see Pearl Harbor, right? That was
I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, no, I would feel really, really uncomfortable there.
I mean, you didn't bomb it.
No, but still, I didn't know.
Just
like
the historical, just the history to see it.
No. I have no desire to go to Hiroshima. And my lone pale face and my gringo face. No, Right? Wouldn't it be weird if Japanese tourists are like, oh, we got to go see Pearl Harbor? Right? Or am I wrong on that?
I don't know. I think that you kind of need to see some of that stuff historically to understand how bad it. Like the first time I went down to 9/11 site.
Yeah, I still haven't gone there. No, I can't. Go there yet.
But it just hits you in a different way. Like I had to see it for myself, and all those feelings came back.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to go to Hiroshima. I'll eventually go to. I still haven't even been able to watch the 9/11 movies, the documentaries yet. Isn't that weird? Like
that is weird.
I don't want to confront that yet. I don't want to deal with it anyway. 9 years ago today, Barack Obama, the first, and apparently I'm not alone. He was the first president to do it. I don't blame you. No, I'm not going to do it. All right, Sabrina's got your news, weather, and traffic. When we come back, the latest on our proposed tariffs for the European Union. And Deborah's got tickets to give away to see the Bare Naked Ladies. Social media is active throughout the broadcast at Mark Arum, at WSB Radio.
This is Scott Slade. Nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. Like me. My doctor saw one lab work number that led to a diagnosis early enough, so I still had options. Now, that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the safest CT imaging option in the Southeast with 98% accuracy. Virtual Imaging's LDCT body scan can be invaluable, giving you time and options for early treatment. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. For a limited time, Virtual Imaging is offering their LDCT body scan for only $995 per scan. That's a $2,495 value. Now, appointments must be scheduled in May. There are a limited number of scans available at this price, so a few minimum requirements may apply. Don't put this off. I've done it. Call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
A word of caution for motorcycle riders. Remember, 18-wheelers have bigger blind spots and it takes them longer to stop than a smaller vehicle. Eric Von Hassler here to remind you that if an 18-wheeler forces you to lay your bike down, you need to call in Steel Horse Law. Attorney George Stein is a motorcycle rider and he understands bikers' needs. Get more info and request a free Rider's Advantage card at steelhorselaw.com.
So you're losing your hair and you need a simple solution that works, but you want the best. It's Mark Arum here. Modern technology, top-rated physicians. You want something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair's completely redefined hair restoration, from the experience itself to the unmatched results they produce. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, address them all with a simple one-day treatment in a calm, relaxed environment with experienced pros. Advanced Hair has performed tens of thousands of breakthrough advanced FUE treatments, and get this, your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day. No one else in Atlanta can offer the advanced FUE found at Advanced Hair. Fix your hair loss today, starting with your free consultation, and you'll also get $500 off if you move forward. Call 470-660-HAIR. Refine your hairline with the team that's redefined hair restoration. And don't forget to ask about that advanced hair guarantee, 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Get the dirt out before school's out and call Zero Res. Right now, get 3 rooms of carpet clean for just $129. Mention me, Chris Chandler, to secure this deal today. Book online at ZeroResAtlanta.com. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by Rocco's European Garage. A man accused in a series of DeKalb County armed robberies, including 2 at area post offices, is now behind bars this morning. U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Georgia saying Terry Lewis Burston faces a list of charges, including postal robbery and aggravated assault on a federal employee. He's accused of robbing one post office in Scottdale last year, another in Lithonia this month, along with robberies at an auto parts store and a gas station. He had previously been convicted in an armed bank robbery and another post office robbery. All right, your weather for today, it's going to be rainy all day long. Some of that rain could be heavy at times, and this afternoon we could have some thunderstorms packing strong winds, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Your afternoon high around 78. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast straight ahead. Atlanta watershed management officials will be handing out bottled water to Buckhead residents who need it today at the Westminster School tennis courts. This after a water outage in the Nancy Creek area. The department is saying they're still investigating the cause of that water outage. Crews are digging in the area of Northside Parkway and West Paces Ferry Road, hoping to find and fix the problem. Some residents say they've been without water for more than 24 hours now. South Fulton police this morning searching for the driver involved in a fatal hit and run involving a pedestrian.
Emergency personnel were called to Camp Creek Parkway near Old Fairburn Road. There, officials discovered an unresponsive woman in the roadway. She was later pronounced dead. The driver fled the scene, and police have few details about the vehicle or a description of the driver. Anyone with information is asked to contact South Fulton Police. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
A man from Mexico is going to spend nearly 6 years behind bars for buying more than 150 firearms in Georgia to traffic them into Mexico. The U.S. Attorney General for the Northern District of Georgia says 47-year-old Edson Argalan received funds from buyers in Mexico, then facilitated the transport of those guns across the border. Officials saying the guns were used to carry out violent crimes, including one in Mexico that killed 8 people. The weapons range from pistols to AR-style guns. A pair of students from Georgia looking to spell their way to victory starting today.
Scripps celebrates the 100th anniversary of its National Spelling Bee as it opens competition today in Maryland. Executive Director Corey Leffler says the event could lead to a great future for the almost 250 competitors.
By learning this skill, but also learning to study, to set goals, to bounce back from disappointment if you don't win.
2 Georgia students are a part of this year's contest, including 5th grader Sarv Daravain from Austin Elementary in Dunwoody, who finished 22nd last year. A winner will be crowned Thursday. Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
New numbers this morning show consumer confidence is up. The Conference Board's consumer confidence is now at 98. That's up from 85.7 last month. Consumers say they feel better, but show concern about potential price hikes due to tariffs. The markets are in positive territory. The Dow's up 557 points. NASDAQ is up more than 2%, and the S&P is up more than 1.5%. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
And we still got this travel advisory up in Ackworth, 75 northbound at Allatoona Gateway, exit 278. It's been truck cleanup in the 2 right lanes. It has cooked the ride back to Chastain Road. Use Highway 41 as an alternate. New stalled truck in the 2nd right lane in Gwinnett County coming out of Duluth, 85 southbound Beaver Ruin Road, exit 102. That's why you're seeing that jam starting back at Highway 316. All lanes blocked and reopened downtown, 75, 85 northbound at Freedom Parkway to get a stalled off to the right. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Cloudy skies with heavy rain and thunderstorms later this afternoon into the evening hours. Some of these storms may produce locally heavy rain as well as damaging wind gusts. Today's high is 78, lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with an isolated rain shower, high near 80.
Cloudy skies, some scattered showers, 63 degrees in Sandy Springs. Tucker, you have 63 and at 67 degrees right now in Peachtree City. We'll have more news at noon, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Where you get your news is where you win.
Download the WSB app and get ready for the WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Amazing. 5 chances a day to win $5,000.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
Are you serious? Your next chance to win is coming up at noon.
Just enter the word at WSBRadio.com or on the WSB Radio app. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
On 95.5 WSB.
Every Gold Star family fights a battle long after the victory is won, and today we lift you up.
President Trump yesterday at Arlington National Cemetery will update Memorial Day remembrances and the latest in the tariff news. Plus, Deborah's got tickets to give away. All of that next on The Mark Arum Show.
Well, I bet it is safe to say you are sick and tired of home services companies that don't show up on time, don't get it right, ghost you then when you need them later. Hey, it's Chris Chandler. I don't have to worry about any of that because I only trust TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. TE Certified is a well-oiled machine with the highest level of communication and follow-up. They're on time, friendly, and fully stocked.
TE Certified. We love your home.
City of Hope, a place where seemingly impossible blood cancers become treatable, curable. With more than 19,000 bone marrow transplants performed, we're the largest and most successful program in the U.S., making major breakthroughs in treating leukemia, lymphoma, and rare blood cancers, personalizing a treatment plan right down to your DNA. Now the experts striving to make the impossible a reality are closer to home. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
Time marches on, and a lot has changed. But one thing has not changed. Washington regulations on local stations. Regulations that make it tough for local TV and radio stations to compete with global big tech platforms. If you want to keep local news, weather, and live sports on TV and radio, we need updated regulations. Tell Washington to modernize the rules to help local stations compete. Learn more at nab.org/modernize the rules. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Some things really love the rain, like flowers, your lawn, frogs. Other things like your roof, not so much. And if your roof is old, it's taken a lot of abuse from the elements over the years. Home Fix It Show host Dave Baker here from my roofing experts at Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. Water is your home's #1 enemy, and your roof is your front line of defense to stop it from getting inside. Heavy rain and severe storms like we've had recently can expose roof leaks and lead to water damage. So, how's your roof holding up? If you're not sure, I recommend you schedule a Findlay Roofing free roof analysis. It's easy. Go to roofroof.com, set up your appointment, and a highly trained professional will thoroughly examine your roof. No obligation, no charge. And if you need a new roof, remember Findlay has seen it all and replaced it all. They have replaced over 65,000 roofs in the metro area. That's why when it comes to your roof, you need to think of Findlay first. Schedule your free roof analysis at FindlayRoofing.com.
Roof.
Heat packed in animals 2 by 2.
Ox, a camel, and a kangaroo. 11:37 on this Tuesday morning edition of the Mark Arum Show. Deborah, I did it. Almost the whole show without calling it Monday. Yeah. Enjoy your 4-day work week. Hope everyone had a calm and reflective Memorial Day weekend. Before we give away some tickets, Deborah, last segment, Longoria was trying to come up with a movie about stalkers. And I want to give a shout out to Brandon on Twitter because I was telling that story about the girl said, what are you doing after college? She said, I'm going to move to New York and marry David Lee Roth. And she did. And it's kind of stalkerish, yes. Brandon says you were probably thinking about the television show, the Netflix show Baby Reindeer.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great show.
Yes.
She didn't marry, spoiler alert.
No.
She didn't marry. That was a crazy, I never want to rewatch that show. That was it was great, but zero rewatch ability on that. So thanks to Brandon on Twitter. All right, coming up in 30 minutes, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K day bonus splits, but you don't have to wait 30 minutes to win right now. What do we have today, Deborah?
Right now, a pair of tickets to see Bare Naked Ladies on June 3rd at Synovus Bank Amphitheater at Chastain Park.
Wow, is that the same day as the Metallica concert? Can we go concert hopping?
Yeah, you can.
Man, Atlanta's just crushing with the concerts. All right, we're going to make Vinny work for this one because I wanted to talk to him and he wasn't there. So we're going to do the 27th caller to 404-872-0750. 27th caller, Mr. Hooker Bar. 27th caller to 404-872-0750 wins what again, Deborah?
Pair of tickets to see Bare Naked Ladies at Chastain on June 3rd.
There you go. Courtesy of the Mark Aram Show, 95.5 WSB. And don't forget, right after the noon news, I am going to give you a keyword in the 5K a day bonus blitz. In the meantime, we continue our team coverage on tariffs, covering the story from ABC News, White House correspondent Karen Travers. Karen, good morning. On the show Thursday, we had the breaking news from President Trump announcing on social media that he would soon be implementing a 50% tariff on our European Union trading partners. Fast forward to Tuesday morning, and it appears that tariff's now off the table. What can you tell us?
Yeah, the president made this threat saying that he would put a 50% tariff on products coming into the U.S. from the European Union and left it out there for about 48 hours before he backed away from that threat. And we've seen this playbook before over the last couple of weeks and months where there is a threat of something very significant, only to see the president say, well, we'll actually pause it for right now, but it'll go into effect in a couple of weeks unless we can reach some sort of deal. So now the pressure is on the trade negotiators to reach some sort of agreement with the EU. But he also didn't even make it clear what he wants to see happen. He was asked Friday if there's anything the EU could do to avoid the tariffs, and he said, I don't know. We're going to see what happens. The president had a phone call on Sunday with the commissioner, the head of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen. She called it a good call. She said that Europe is ready to advance talks swiftly and decisively. He had said, too, that they would rapidly get together and see if they could work something out. There was that phone call yesterday with the Commerce Secretary and the European Trade Commissioner. The U.S. Trade Rep also was on the phone with his counterpart in Europe. So we'll see how quickly they can move along with things. But there's still some pretty big sticking points that have been on the table for weeks, that will be on the table for the coming weeks between now and July 9th. But the European Union also made it clear yesterday that they are still moving forward with their potential list of retaliatory tariffs should the 50% go into effect on July 9th if no agreement can be reached.
White House correspondent Karen Travers joining us on the Mark Aram Show. Do we know what prompted President Trump on Friday to bump up the tariffs to 50%?
It certainly feels like it's a move to try and light a fire under the negotiations. Like that the administration hasn't been happy with how things have been going. They've been moving along pretty slowly with the EU. In recent weeks, when you ask about where progress is on trade deals, because, of course, we're in this 90-day pause period right now, and about halfway through it from the pause the president put into effect in early April on those stiff, sweeping tariffs on countries all around the world. When you talk to officials, they will always cite Asian countries as where they feel the most progress has been made. They were like, we're talking to India, we're talking to South Korea and Japan, Vietnam. We think that we're moving quickly with those countries. You didn't hear anything about the EU. So this potentially, for the president is a way to try and jumpstart negotiations, make a big, big threat like this and see where it goes. And maybe it works because, of course, it got them on the phone. He's got conversations rolling. But again, that threat of 50% tariffs is still, for the president's point of view at least, still on the table for July 9th.
Yeah, we've seen this, the Trump administration use this exact same playbook a couple of times in these trade negotiations. Final question, Karen. What's on the agenda today at the White House? What should we be watching for?
He doesn't have any events on his schedule today, which is kind of notable. The official schedule says no public events. We'll see if the president adds something. We are, of course, at the ready just in case, but notable that there wasn't even something that was behind closed doors that opened up to reporters, but there was nothing actually on the official schedule. So we'll see.
A nice 4-day weekend. Well, we'll take that. You'll take that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Karen, as
there
always.
will always be something happening, I'm sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Karen, as always, thanks for your time, buddy.
Great. Have a nice day. Thanks.
All right, so a lot of still developing negotiations going on between the United States, European Union, and others. We'll see. But again, that's been the tactic of the president. Threaten these big tariffs and then get the trading partners to the table, and then we'll pause. But I should reiterate that we had the huge world global tariffs that were set to go, and then with the reciprocal tariffs and there was a 90-day pause. So it's they are still looming. However many days it is from now, it's less than 90. But tariffs still a thing. Tariffs are still a thing, and they could impact. Who knows at this point, depending on who comes to the table or not. But any new tariff news, we'll bring it to you live here on 95.5 WSB. I want to update this. I have no idea about this. It's Apple versus Epic Games. Are you familiar with this, Deborah, this story?
No.
All right, so a federal judge in Oakland holds a hearing today on Epic Games' lawsuit against Apple over the Fortnite game. Epic Games filed an antitrust lawsuit against Apple 5 years ago over Apple's removal of Fortnite from the App Store. Apple removed the popular game after it launched its own in-app payment system, which Apple does not permit. CBS News tech contributor Ian Sherr has more on this, I believe is in some circles a pretty fascinating case.
Fast forward a couple of years through this lawsuit, and now Epic has largely won what it wanted. Its game, Fortnite, is back in the App Store, and some of the controls Apple had around how apps would collect payments from users and how apps can market themselves were changed as a result.
Interesting. I'm familiar with Fortnite, but the last game I played was like Madden in 2004 or NCAA football.
Right.
Like just for the health of my marriage, I can't get a gaming console because when I was a single dude, I would play that for the entire weekend. I would get off work on Friday and go home and put in NCAA football 2003 or whatever it was, and that's all I would do. I would play like 7 seasons of. I get they're addictive, but I know Fortnite's a popular game, but I've never played it. You're kind of a gamer, Longoria?
Yeah, we have consoles at the house from my old days that the girls still play on. They play Fortnite. They have it there for them, whenever they want to get on it. So
it's age appropriate for the.
It's a shooting game. It's like anything else, but it's not like gory or bloody or anything like that.
Not like what's the game where
Grand Theft Auto? No, it's nothing like that. I wouldn't let them play that.
GTA.
No, that's too
much. One of the downsides. Well, I guess now because it's all interactive, that I would become lonely because I wouldn't have any social interaction back when I was playing these games for the entire weekend. Apparently, loneliness, Deborah, is as deadly as lack of exercise, smoking. What does this study say?
More and more Americans are struggling with loneliness. The former U.S. Surgeon General said loneliness isolation can be as dangerous as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day, which is pretty severe. This lack of social connection leads to increased heart disease, increased risk of a stroke, developing dementia for adults, and even premature death from being alone too much.
That's sad. So I'm just thinking about like senior assisted living places where, like, my great grandmother was in one of those, and eventually my grandmother went in. Is that considered lonely though? Because they have social activities and you have meals and you bingo and stuff. Is that if you put your elder relatives in one of those, does that speed their death because they're lonely? Is it better to have your grandparents or your parents live with you? You know what I'm saying?
I guess it just depends on what their interaction is at those places, because you do see some groups are pretty social there. And some people just don't get along with the other people in those areas. They prefer to be with their families. So I think it just depends on the person.
Yeah, that's a tough moral decision to make.
You don't put a Mexican grandmother in a house.
No.
They stay with the family.
They stay with you.
Yeah. Well, I give Vinny credit. He's like, I'm not leaving my parents' side. I'm going to live with them forever. Forever, ever. Congrats to Justin in Loganville. He won a pair of tickets to see the Bare Naked Ladies, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show. Are we going to have the Bare Naked Ladies tickets all week, Deborah?
Yep, all week.
All right, excellent. So another chance for you to win those tickets coming up tomorrow. You can get $1,000, by the way. You can win $1,000. That's game-changing money right there. Coming up after the new news, I'm going to give you another keyword in the 5K Day bonus splits. Another chance for you to win $1,000 here on 95.5 WSB. Right now, though, let's check the Tuesday morning ride around town. Where are the traffic hotspots, Alex Williams?
Got one between Duluth and Norcross right now. Stalled truck, second right lane, 85 southbound, Beaver Ruin Road, exit 102. You're stacked in as you leave Highway 316 northbound in the same area just before Indian Trail Road. They cleared a crash out of a center lane, so those delays are improving. And much better news in Ackworth, 75 95 northbound, heading up through Acworth toward Bartow County. That earlier crash past Allatoona Gateway, the Glade Road area, exit 278. That has since cleared, but we've also had some pothole repair in the backup that's been in our right lane in and out as they make their way northbound, so just be mindful of that. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
So if you can't handle your real face, then don't tell me how to handle my life.
He's your co-pilot for the ride home.
They have a lot more money now because they stopped kneeling.
Eric Von Hessler.
Things are going to get broken.
Eric Von Hessler.
Today at 3.
95.5 WSB. Atlanta's News and Talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shelley Winter here. Man, I'm telling you, I don't want to use a CPAP machine. You know why? Because I can't roll over and kiss AMAC the lawyer in the middle of the night. I know there is an alternative, and it comes from PalmettoSleep.com. They have oral appliance therapy. It's a great alternative to that bulky CPAP. You don't like that. Imagine holding your breath for 30 to 40 seconds. Go ahead. I'll wait. Yeah, no problem. You don't have to spend the night in a sleep lab. None of that happens with Palmetto Sleep. They can arrange for an in-home sleep test from the comfort of your own bed. And it's all covered by your private medical insurance. Go to PalmettoSleep.com. They have made the process super duper simple with virtual appointments and take-home sleep tests if needed. They handle absolutely everything. So if you've already been diagnosed, go to PalmettoSleep.com. That's PalmettoSleep.com. That's PalmettoSleep.com.
This is Monica Pearson for Superior Plumbing, the honest plumber. Like me, Superior Plumbing has been doing business for more than 40 years. Trust me, to last that long takes dedication to doing the job right and building trust with your customer base. I've used Superior Plumbing for years, and owner Jay Cunningham is committed to making you a customer for life, too. Next time you need a plumber, visit thehonestplumber.com.
That's your garage door. Almost broken, but technically not broken yet. And you know the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So you don't fix it, 'cause it ain't broke. And it gets worse. Until one day, 2 a.m., raining alligators, carload full of dry cleaning, you push the button, and out of nowhere, guess what's broke? Your garage door. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. A garage door that's almost broken can actually do more damage than one that's fully broke. Jammed up parts put an extra strain on the motor, rollers out of whack stress the tracks and the belts. Fix it early while it's still a simple repair and before your car gets locked out or locked in. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come over and make it right. Because if it's almost broke, you fix it.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
If someone causes you to lay your bike down, hiring proper representation is critical. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler. Don't hire a lawyer because of slick commercials. Hire a local lawyer that specializes in motorcycle injury law. You can trust my friends at Steel Horse Law. Attorney George Stein is a rider and understands bikers' needs. Steel Horse Law has represented thousands of local riders and can maximize the value of your recovery. Schedule your free consultation at steelhorselaw.com.
With thousands of 5-star reviews, it's no wonder CertaPro Painters is Greater Atlanta's most preferred painting company. Hear from one of their happy customers.
We wanted to add some color to our walls, so we hired CertaPro. We had built-in shelves that were supposed to be ready to paint when they got there, which they were not. CertaPro spent hours caulking and sanding to make sure the job was done right. It's rare to find a crew with integrity who really take pride in their work.
When choosing a painting professional, choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, where we know gifting isn't just about the latest styles and best quality, it's also about the best prices to make your occasions memorable without breaking the bank. Diamond studs are the perfect gift. They start at just $275 and have 100% upgrade value for life. We have a great selection of diamond and sterling silver jewelry with necklaces as low as $110. So don't compromise on your big occasions. Stay in your budget with something they'll cherish. From D. Geller & Son in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 50 and tired of your wireless bill getting higher and higher, there are 4 things to consider. 1, how much data are you really using? As we get older, we use less data on our wireless phone, but you're probably still paying for an unlimited plan that was designed for 20-somethings. 2, if you see Get a Phone on Us, Get your sneakers out and run the other way. No one is giving you a free phone. You are paying for that phone over time with an overpriced rate plan and a long-term commitment. 3, check the fine print on that $15 a month plan. It's probably an intro price that'll double or triple later. You might even have to pay for several months of service up front. Number 4, be aware of cable company wireless plans. Most of your usage will be on Wi-Fi instead of 5G, and your calls and battery life could suffer. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide service without the big wireless bill. Our plans start at just $20 a month.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Sound yesterday, taps being played at Arlington National Cemetery as President Trump laid a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. We weren't live on the show yesterday. We did a best of, but just to reiterate, grateful, eternal thanks to those that paid the ultimate sacrifice for us, that we are allowed to enjoy our freedoms here in the United States. And if you get a chance, revisit the nation's capital. I mean, we've been soured on D.C. for the last couple of political cycles, but it truly is remarkable. All of the monuments, especially the war memorials to those that gave their life and served. So please go check that out. I do want to update, because I didn't get a chance to earlier, the manhunt ongoing for the Louisiana jail escapee. 3 more of the 10 escaped inmates from the Nolens jail have been rearrested, leaving authorities still searching for 2 men. Authorities say one of the 3 men was arrested in Baton Rouge by local police and 2 others in Walker County, Texas.
Linton Van Buren was arrested by Baton Rouge police. Police say they received an anonymous tip and found Van Buren sitting on a bench near a department store. About an hour later, we learned 2 more inmates, Leo Tate and Jermaine Donald, were captured by Texas authorities in Walker County. That's about 75 miles north of Houston. Police say the pair led authorities on a high-speed chase through the Huntsville, Texas area.
Crazy. So 2 were taken in Texas. I was worried they were going to come to Atlanta. Thankfully, they went to Longoria's home state. Finally, some good news when it comes to consumer confidence.
Consumers seem to be feeling better in the month of May. That's according to the Conference Board's Consumer Confidence Index. Consumer confidence improved in May after 5 consecutive months of decline. Chances are respondents felt better because the data were collected after the May 12th announcement on 145% tariffs on imports from China.
All right, good news there from CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger. You're going to feel more confident as a consumer if you win $1,000 in the 5K day bonus splits. Next keyword after the new news.
Longoria's Fact of the Day.
All right, today's National Grape Day, and archaeologists say grapes have been around for 130 million years. In fact, they are one of the oldest plants on Earth. Early records indicate grapes were originally cultivated 6,000 to 7,000 years ago for trading in Western Asia. It was also found in tombs during the pre-Christ era.
We had a tomb story. 3 new tombs were found in Luxor, Egypt. We'll have to do that, Deborah.
Were there grapes in there?
I'm sure. Deborah will do that story tomorrow. Remind me. I love a good archaeological story. All right, so it's National Grape Day?
National Grape Day, yeah.
Fanta grape soda. It might. I mean, I know I'm loyal to Coca-Cola, but you give me a grape soda and some Chinese food, and that's all. That might be my last meal. If I'm on death row, right?
That's crazy. No.
No?
Cotton candy grapes are good, too.
Grape soda for your last meal?
No, grape soda.
Grape soda.
Yeah, no.
What do you want?
Give me the Fanta orange one.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll stay in the Fanta family.
We'll stay Fanta.
Grape soda is the best. Greatest career achievement in my life at WSB.
Are you guys ready?
In the 28 years I've worked here, convincing the vending machine guy to start stocking grape soda. That should be on my resume. I'm going to put that on my LinkedIn profile. Got the soda guy to stock grape soda for the first time in our 100-year history at WSB Radio. All right, stars of the show, actress Kim Dickens. Goodness gracious, Joni Stubbs, love her. Karen Travers in D.C., Natalie Brand in D.C., Janet Lauren in Bloomberg, no. Janet doesn't get one. I was underwhelmed. Rory O'Neill, Vinny Longoria, me, and Deborah. And all those who serve get a star of the show. Social media is active, at Mark Arum. Give us a follow there. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K day bonus splits right after the new news. Stay safe. Have a great Tuesday, Atlanta.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
WSB consumer expert Clark Howard, sponsored by Ragsdale Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical.
There are more and more gasoline sellers selling ethanol 15%. Some stations are going to show you a lower price if you buy the E15 instead of the E10. Your vehicle may be okay with 15% ethanol, or it may not be. This is a risk not worth taking. The cheapest price at the pump may not be your best idea. Don't go past E10.
Preparing to sell your home can be costly and time-consuming. Skip the hassles of a traditional home sale and sell your home stress-free with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Say goodbye to the stress that comes with showings, open houses, and costly home repairs. My friends at Mark Spain Real Estate will sell your home fast and for maximum value. With over 12,500 five-star reviews, trust the top real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home for top dollar. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
News, weather,
Traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 12 o'clock on this Tuesday, May 27th. Good afternoon. I'm Sabrina Cupid. The news here at noon is sponsored by Jim Ellis Automotive. A pedestrian is hit and killed in South Fulton, and this noon police are searching for that driver.
When emergency personnel arrived at the scene on Camp Creek Parkway south of Old Fairburn Road, they found a woman lying in the roadway. She was unresponsive and later was pronounced dead. South Fulton police say they have very few details about the driver or the vehicle involved. The victim's name has not yet been released. If you know anything about the incident, you are urged to contact South Fulton Police. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
And there was another hit and run in Cobb County. Police there looking for the driver of a dark sedan believed to be responsible for the hit and run, resulting in a serious injury. This happened in the eastbound lanes of I-285 near the merge with I-75.
A white GMC Safari was eastbound in the second lane from the left, while a dark-colored sedan, possibly a Kia, was in the adjacent third lane and changed lanes and possibly may have collided with the GMC.
That's Officer Aaron Wilson. He says the dark sedan continued eastbound. The driver of the GMC suffered serious injuries and was taken to Wellstar Kennestone Hospital. The GMC passenger also suffering injuries. Anybody with information being asked to contact Cobb County Police. All right, we will have rain most of the day today, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards, and check back this afternoon on your drive home.
Watching for a round of heavy rain and thunderstorms later on this afternoon into the evening hours. That's likely after 3 p.m. Some of these storms may produce some damaging wind gusts.
And she says the rain's going to be with us for a while. She'll have Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up at 12:05. Crews are rushing this noon to find the cause of a water outage impacting homes and businesses in Buckhead. They say they are making progress.
Unlike most outages where the water main breaks are obvious, the cause of this outage is harder to pinpoint. Atlanta's Watershed Management Department says it's actively searching and troubleshooting in multiple locations in the Nancy Creek area. Crews are currently digging along Northside Parkway near West Paces Ferry Road. Residents in the area say they've had no water or little water for 24 hours now. The city's providing bottled water for them today at the Westminster School tennis courts. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
It is 12:02. A man's behind bars this afternoon after a list of armed robberies in DeKalb County, including 2 at area post offices.
The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Georgia says Terry Lewis Burston allegedly robbed a post office in Scottsdale and attempted to rob another in Lithonia. He's also accused of similar incidents at a DeKalb auto parts store and a gas station. He's charged with postal robbery and aggravated assault on a federal employee, among other charges. U.S. Attorney Theodore Hertzberg describes Burston as a violent repeat offender. He was previously convicted in 2013 of a bank robbery and another set of Atlanta bank and post office robberies in 1995. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
Early voting underway today for a couple of seats on the State Public Service Commission.
The races for the PSC's Districts 2 and 3 seats come after a lawsuit over how Georgia's districts were drawn. Early voting runs through June 13th. The primary election will be held June 17th. Voters will essentially decide who makes decisions about their utility bills. Since 2023, the Commission has approved 6 rate increase requests by Georgia Power. The PSC still has to decide on the utility's latest proposal to freeze rates for 3 years beginning next year. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
New here at noon, the U.S. Supreme Court will not hear a case out of Massachusetts over a transgender T-shirt. The case stemming from a middle school student who was prohibited from wearing a T-shirt bearing the slogan, "There are only 2 genders." Two conservative members of the court, Justice Clarence Thomas and Justice Samuel Alito, dissented from the decision not to hear the case. The students' lawyers say the dress code's restrictions on speech are unconstitutional, while a federal district court judge and the Boston-based First U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruled in favor of the school. The COVID vaccine is no longer being recommended by the CDC for pregnant women and healthy children. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. making that announcement in a video on X today. Previously, the CDC had recommended that vaccine for anyone 6 months and older. This comes after the FDA announced last week that the new COVID shots would no longer be routinely approved for healthy children and adults. There isn't a COVID shot mandate for anyone right now in the United States. The road to the College World Series runs through Athens.
The Diamond Dogs earn a number 7 national seed after posting a record of 42-15. Georgia will host Binghamton in Game 1 of the Athens Regional Friday at noon at Foley Field. Duke and Oklahoma State make up the other half of the Athens Regional. The winner of the double elimination tournament advances to the Super Regional, which the Dogs would host if they advance. The 8 winners of the Super Regionals advance to the College World Series in Omaha. Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Consumer confidence is up after 5 months of declines. The consumer confidence rebound was seen at all ages and income demographics. As we take a look at the markets, the Dow's up 629, so up more than 1.5%. NASDAQ's up more than 2%, and the S&P's up more than 1.5%. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
And some better news out of Duluth heading toward Norcross. They just got this stalled truck off to the right. All lanes open. 85 southbound and Beaver Ruin Road exit 102. Delays leaving Highway 316 should start to improve. If you're traveling into DeKalb County, I-20 westbound, a little sluggish from Panola Road through the work zone over to I-285. And heads up in the Midtown area, traffic lights flashing red, North Side Drive at 14th Street. Make sure you treat that intersection as a 4-way stop. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
Your 5-day forecast sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta.
Cloudy skies today, high 78. Watching for a round of heavy rain and thunderstorms to roll through the evening hours. Some of these storms may produce damaging winds as well as torrential downpours. Lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with an isolated pop-up shower, high near 80. Thursday, mostly cloudy with an isolated storm, high 81. Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms on Friday, high 79. Finally drying out just in time for the weekend. Saturday, partly cloudy, high near 80.
More news at 12:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Okay, friends, it's the 5K a day bonus blitz. The noon keyword is extra.
Extra smooth, extra smooth.
EXTRA, extra. Enter the keyword into the WSB Radio app or at WSBRadio.com/cash. You have until 12:30 p.m. to enter the keyword, win $1,000, and the keyword is extra. Don't forget, if you get a phone call after 12:30 from a number you don't recognize, answer it. Could be us telling you you want $1,000. The keyword is
Extra, extra, read all about it. Extra.
good luck.
Greetings, conversationalists. Welcome. It is Eric Erickson here across the United States of America, and I am delighted to be with you. The phone number is 877-973-7425. Should you wish to be on the program, glad to have you. We've got to begin with, well, the problems of the Democratic Party, because it's too funny. We all need a laugh. We're coming back. We're begrudgingly on a 4-day week. Let's begin here. We know the Democrats have problems. Let me just give you some data from the New York Times, which of course is pouring its resources into trying to help the Democrats get back into power. They would never do this for the GOP, at least not honestly. And yet with the Democrats, even the New York Times recognizes they have serious problems, and they're doing everything they can to counsel the Democrats in order to get back into power. So we have just over 3,100 counties, parishes, and boroughs in the United States. For those of you who don't know, Louisiana has parishes, Alaska has boroughs, the rest of the nation has counties. And the New York Times can tell you in their survey of all the counties, parishes, and boroughs in the United States of America, Donald Trump improved his standing in, well, where are we? Sorry, folks, we have this weird, I'm hearing sound come out. I know what the problem is. It's this feed I'm required to do. There we go. Never mind. Ignore me. I could hear myself all of a sudden. It's because the weird feed that has me weirdly on my flagship station in duplicate. I have no idea why. In any event, distractions. So we have 1,433 counties out of 3,100 counties in the United States. Donald Trump actually improved his standing. How many counties of the 3,100 counties in the United States of America, how many counties did the Democrats improve their standing in? We have 3,100 counties, more or less. Donald Trump improved his standing in 1,433 of them from 2016 to 2020 to 2024. Democrats improved their standing in 57 of the 3,100 counties, parishes, and boroughs in the United States. Of the 3,100 counties, Donald Trump improved in 1,433. Democrats improved in 57. And what are those 57 counties? They are the wealthiest counties in America, the counties with disproportionately high education among white people. Notably, Georgia, the counties surrounding Atlanta, Georgia, did some of the best for the Democrats. Cobb, Gwinnett, Fulton, Rockdale, Henry, and Douglas County. Yes, those counties, all of which shifted to the Democrats. That's a warning sign for Republicans in the state of Georgia. But across the nation, in working class communities, including in much of Georgia, Donald Trump actually improved his standing with a ton of voters across the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes states, portions of California, a lot of Texas and Florida. Even New York, Donald Trump outperformed. Donald Trump did marvelously well. And so you know what the Democrats have decided to do to figure out why? The Democrats have decided, and y'all, I'm going to tell you something, and your first reaction is going to be that I'm making it up because it sounds so untrue. It sounds so untrue, and yet it is true. The Democrats have spent $20 million doing a major analysis on why they lost. And you know what they've come up with? They need to learn male syntax. They need to learn male syntax. That's right. $20 million, the Democrats have concluded they need